What's the deal, my familiar? It's the Don Tony Teflon Feel the Issues guy escaping from podcast. We're in the building, baby, and we're talking about from season 3, episode motherfucking 8 already, Phil. Episode 8 is here.
I can't believe it. And actually, if you look at it in a certain way, it's the penultimate episode because the next 2 episodes are part 1 and part 2. So we're heading into our season finale next week. I honestly can't believe we wait so long for these shows, like years sometimes. I mean, From's been pretty good about it. We don't have to wait too long, usually just about a year. But still, these seasons, you always say it, Tony, they flash by in an instant. And now we're 8 episodes to. We only got 2 episodes left, and this was one of my favorite episodes of the entire series, Tony. This was the episode everyone's been waiting to know what happened with that goddamn rope. If they just tell us who dragged the tent too, I think we can get a lot of people happy. Those are like the 2 big ones, you know.
A lot of people ask for a lot of answers. You get no answer. You get no answer. You have your answers. You're getting again. I dropped the videos and I told you how the fucking show was gonna end, and I think they gave it up too easy. It was too easy for me to spot as soon as they did it, and that's why I dropped the video. And I'm trying to tell you that what I'm saying is real. And I dropped a video before that talking about what's going on in Fromland, and I had some pushback in the comment. That's fine. I'm here for the smoke. We have the phone lines open because my theory that I come with, other people come up with a lot of theories and stuff, and that's fine. My theory is the only theory that explains every aspect of this show. Everyone. There's no question you can ask me that I cannot explain in this theory, period, point blank, end of story. And that's what it is and everything else. But before we go all into this, Phil, let's say what up to some of the people who are rocking with us right now. We got a baby girl up in the building rocking with us. So our girl from the land down under, Carla Way, is in here. TNJ is in the building. Sonic Your Boy is in there watching over at the Phil the Issues Guy channel. It's Vanessa Wilson. Wicked. Jay Sleek is up in this piece rocking with us right now. The Man in Black is in here. Julie B. Deep Dives is in here rocking with us. Matthew Spruce is in here rocking with us. I went too fast. We got SM Down H9 is in here. Yeah. Rocking from the Phil the Issues Guy channel. Ebony Marie is up in here. Tiffany Radswell is in this building rocking with us right now. Winter is in here rocking with us. Trez is in the building rocking with us. Jules Santana. Jules is in the building rocking with us right now. Nyad Hurst is in here. As Told by K.I. is in here. Trez is in here. Abdul is in the building. Tim rocking with the Phil the Issues Guys channel is rocking with us. Chris is in the building rocking with us. Man, Dwayne is up in here right now. Hannah is over here. So many people. I would like to say what up to all you. BH is in the building rocking with us and everything else. We got so we'll get Isis Blue is in here. We got so many people in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way in. Nene is in here. Every time I feel bad if I don't say it. Nene's in here. Tiffany is in here. I said Matthew. All right. Daryl is in here. A bunch of people in here, right?
And his brother Daryl, and his other brother Daryl.
Yeah, all these Daryls. All right. And Jacoby Johnson Wilson is in the building. Sunflen is in the building rocking with us. All right. We'll say what up to other people up in here. I'm sorry if I missed you at this particular time. We won't get back to you. And we're going to get back to you on that. All right, Phil, this episode. A lot of answers. What's the rating on this episode right off the bat? Let's get to that.
I would say, based on everything throughout the series, this is a 9.5-y kind of episode. This was as good as From gets for me in the sense of this was maybe close to one of my favorite episodes with like the first episode and kind of I think it was maybe the 3rd episode this season. I would say this is high 9s for me on this one, Tony. Right. I'm real high on this episode tonight.
Yeah, I would give it. Did I give a 9 already? I think I've given a 9 this season. So we'll go 9.5 for this episode. I think it's the best episode of the season. Listen, I know a lot of people complain when there's no monsters in it, and they say it can't be a good episode because there's no monsters. I disagree. You know, a lot of this stuff is happening in daytime, right? All these episodes, we see a lot of daytime. We don't see a lot of nighttime. We got the monsters right off the bat, early on. And I think now that they're fleshing out the actual characters of the town. and letting you know that there are monsters out there in the world, but there are also monsters among.
Of course, and we had the ultimate monster make a big appearance, like the monster inside Jim tonight. And I love how Henry, we see where Victor got his sass from, because Henry was sassing the hell out of Jim. You know, Jim, why don't you just shut the fuck up? I mean, I think I think so much of the audience was speaking through Henry in that moment. I can't wait to get into that whole scene. We also get a little bit more boy and white stuff. We get Victor with his family, possibly. If we go by some Tony stuff was backing up in this episode. We got Julie traveling through time potentially. This was just a lot of shit happened in this episode. And of course, we haven't even mentioned our good buddy Elgin getting all creepy tonight, Tony. And I know you talked a lot in your last two videos about some other theories that you have, which I like, and I'm sure you'll be answering some questions tonight from the live audience. But I think, Tony, what the real question people want to know is, does this mean you're eating the chip? Does what you said in your most recent video mean you're eating the chip?
No, let me explain something to you, Phil.
Is the chip coming? Is chip coming?
Listen, let me explain something to you, Phil. Real quick, if I can. All right, I'm going to tell you, when I told you that it's aliens, I have not diverted from this. Just because I'm giving these aliens a name doesn't mean they're not aliens. I'm just telling you what the alien creature is.
Right, you were describing the alien creature's powers, essentially, not saying that this is, you know, Robin Williams from Aladdin. This is a alien with genie-like abilities potentially, or something.
Yeah,
like
it's a jinn. It's a jinn, metaphorically jinn, and he is the one who's controlling this whole thing. Now, is it the boy in white? Is he taking on the form of the boy in white? Is he taking on form of other people? I haven't figured that out yet. I got to still keep going on. But in the end, this jinn is 100% not from this planet. Therefore, that makes him an alien. I have said it was aliens from the jump. Okay. And I'm not going away from this alien stuff at all. Again, it's not me, Phil. It's not me. I don't have to say it. In the end, I had an expert ask.
We have all sorts of stories, mythologies, legends that could be interpreted as gods, who in reality were misinterpreted extraterrestrials.
You see, and when you have someone who is an expert in the field, and I contacted him, and this is what he sent me, then I have to go with it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's sorry. That's fair. We can go with that. But I think a lot of people, I saw in the comment section, and that would be the number one thing people want to address. They want to know, are you any closer to eating the chip?
No, I'm not, because I'm telling you, these are aliens, and alien extraterrestrial means not of this earth, and that's what they are. They're not of this earth, and that's what we're going to see. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be right. There's no other way for this to go. And the only way I'm wrong, and I'm telling you straight up, is if the showrunners are watching the Donna and they're like, we can't let this motherfucker be right. And they change it up. But I think it's too far gone for them to change it up. There's going to be anything they can do. So that's what I'm trying to say.
I think at minimum what the showrunners are doing
too. Goddamn truth. The Don don't cap, baby. I'm telling you, this is what it's going to be. This is what it is, and I'm telling you, it's gens. And as I said before, I'll say it again. These people, and people have taken it the wrong way. I've told you that these people are in a dream realm. Mm-hmm. Not that they're dreaming, and this whole thing is a dream. The showrunner said the whole thing is not a dream. That does not mean they're not in a dream realm. You understand? You got to look at these people. They double talk you, and y'all fall for the okie doke. But the Don can't be hoodwinked, right? You can't get the Don. I understand what they're trying to say. They are in the dream realm. They are trapped in the dream realm. And that is why everything that... Go watch the video, but I will get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. And I think the dream realm stuff seemed very apropos, especially when we get into the Julie stuff, where it wasn't just... I mean, we'll talk about this more in detail, but it wasn't just that she was traveling in time. There was a space element of it as well, too, where she was with Martin, with the three of them, and then she eventually was in the tunnels where Victor and Tabitha were. So she actually traveled to a different place. So she was traveling from place to place, not just moving through time and space, or at least her consciousness was of some sort. So
exactly, when you deal with time travel again,
that's dreamscape stuff.
Yeah, now in the beginning, I thought that the time travel, I thought we were going to go straight science and it was going to be a wormhole. And that's what these were, teleportation devices, that the faraway trees was. But the fact that Jade said that it's not a wormhole, I do believe, I got to take his word for it. And I think that they go in and they say these things like that purposely to let you know that's not what it is. Now, the only other way to travel through time is through dreams. This is a known fact that we have people who have claimed to do it. We can't say that they all have done it, but we have people who claim to have done it. And this is a known fact that you can travel through time in dreams. So it makes sense for this to happen. So that's what it is. I done put that out there. The video is up there. I'm standing by it and everything. And for you people in the chat, and I see it. Don't think I don't see it. They're saying I'm tap dancing and shit. I don't got to tap dance. The Don don't tap dance. I broke dance when I was younger. All right, different. I did tap dance too, but that's another story. But I was when I was real young. But the Don don't tap dance. I say it straight up, and what I'm saying is the truth, and I stand by it. And if I happen to be wrong, I'll be the first one to come in and say I'm wrong. If it's not aliens, I'll be the first one to come in and eat that fucking chip right in front of everybody. But it's not gonna happen. So don't get your hopes up. Don't get your butt cheeks.
I know some people are getting their hopes up.
Happy. Don't lather up your favorite socks, nerds. All right? Don't do it. It's not happening. I'm gonna be right when it's all said and done.
And what else? What else happened? We get Victor again, just sassing the hell out of everything. Like, Sarah, it's not you. Scott McCord has done an excellent job acting this season as Victor and really playing a child. Like, he really embraces, like, even when Tabitha's coming in, bringing her, oh, you sit there, you okay? And did you like the conclusion of all of that, where Jasper ended up being actually the boy in white, and Jasper was kind of a red herring? I kind of did, even though I was full down the Jasper route. I like that it ended up being the boy in white personally. How about you?
Well, it's like this, you know. I said before, it's a trope that you have a doll in there. The doll has to talk. We did see the doll talk,
couple times.
It was in his imagination, so you had to have that. I thought that there would be a note inside the doll that explained stuff to it. They didn't. We didn't see that. I mean, maybe something else is going to pop up from it, but from so far we didn't. It really was a true red herring. Listen, I wasn't these motherfuckers out here in the chat and everywhere else saying Jasper's running everything. Jasper, I didn't go into that. That wasn't me. That was a motherfucker saying, oh, Jasper says I'm someone else, Bill.
Don't watch the podcast back. I totally wasn't drunk in saying that. Not me. I swear. But I do want to give you, I don't know if you picked up, I mean, I'm sure you picked up on this, but I don't know if it was relevant that when Victor was talking about the hide and seek stuff, he made it a point to say Eloise was really good at hiding. I could never find her. Just to think that maybe she is alive somewhere hiding, I don't know. I thought that might have been a slight little shout out to the thoughts that she might still be alive somewhere, but like you can never find her when she hides. She's very good at hiding.
Eloise, I'm trying to tell you, is Sarah. I've said it. I'm the only one who's ever said that. I came up with that theory too, and I'm trying to tell you that's what it is.
It certainly seemed like it.
But if she is alive like that, you know what I mean, then, and she is good at hiding, could she have survived? It would be really rare to see two children survive. Both of these children, and never ran across each other at all in this place for over 45 years. I don't know how you explain that away.
Is she the one at the camp?
They would get that. For 45 years, these kids never crossed paths at all. She's a good hider.
Could she just get that camp, Tony? Like, could she be the one at the one that's outside knocking on the cabins and stuff like that?
She could be out at that camp. She could have been shown at that camp. And I said if she was alive, then she probably is at that camp. But to be up in there for 45 years and not get bagged up at all by yourself is really I don't know how that it would be possible. I think it makes more sense to me. Thank you for everyone who's over here, Shaggy Star, for sharing the link to my book. I truly appreciate it. That Eloise is Sarah. It makes more sense that Eloise is Sarah. You have a dark person, like the dark side of someone, and Victor right there, you know what I mean, and everything else. So I would think that it make a lot of sense that Eloise is this person right here. I think we highlighted that.
Yeah, we did. We took Jinx, you owe me about all.
Real Eric, thank you for $2 super chat. Says $2 towards jug of milk for that one chip challenge. God, thank you. I'll save it. And then when I don't need it, then we'll spend it on a blunt. All right, how about that?
Yeah. Nice. Since you don't smoke, I know what member of our team gets that. That's great.
Exactly. So yeah, I thought that Henry, when you get down to the situation dealing with Henry and Jim. All right, let's go through right now the death list real quick before we go into recapping all. Death wish after this show, the death count. We have Fatima on number 1, and she's still number 1.
Yeah. Oh, Fatima is. You could see it all over. I don't know if this is how everything ends, but Boyd has. I'm gonna have to kill your wife and your mother all over his face through this whole episode with Ellis. Like, listen, dude. If you don't kill her, I'm gonna kill her. That kind of vibe to a certain extent. I'm surprised he didn't do what Elgin did. But yeah, I don't know if she makes it out of that basement. In all honesty,
it's going to be hard, I think, for her to get out of that basement. She's still number 1 for me. Let's go with Ellis. I think it could be ironic that Ellis may have to kill her, like Boyd killed his wife.
Yeah, they were definitely making referential stuff like that in this episode all over the place. Some could argue Boyd was trying to help and making poor decisions about the whole situation to try to do better for Abby, get a redo of it. And Ellis sort of read that into him. I thought we got some really good scenes with Boyd and Ellis in this episode, especially with just the way Boyd is a ride or die dad. Like he's gonna like, and that is important. And he had to shoot. I mean, it's easy to sneak past it, but he had to shoot his mother in front of this kid. You know, so he's trying to do everything he can in this situation against his better instinct, because Donna was right about everything she was saying. Like, she couldn't get back in. She should bring her back to town and deal with this whole situation. So I don't know. Boyd is definitely being protective of his son in this situation.
All right. So right then we have do we make a distinction? Is Ellis gonna die?
No, I don't think Ellis dies this season.
All right. Chris, thank you for the super chat. You should do a poll on everyone wants dead the most. I'm curious. All right, we'll put the poll up for you, I promise. Shaggy Star, Donna is ready to go home. Thank you for the super chat. I think the poll is obvious that people are going to say everyone hates Jim. So I didn't think that would be it. Let's go to Jim right now, Phil. Phil, Jim, death list. I think Jim's going this season.
I think just Jim's ego dies this season.
Yeah, his ego's already been crushed.
Yeah, his ego's been crushed. I don't know anything
setting
else.
up though that something could happen. If anyone in the Matthews family goes, it's only him.
Probably.
Especially after this episode. You can't kill off Julie after what we've seen in this episode. Can't kill off Tabitha. You're not going to kill off Ethan. So the only one to go is him. I don't know if they go that far. I don't know if they would be that bold this show to kill off a character like Jim. I don't know if they would do that. So I'm not going to put Jim on the death list.
No, it seems like they're setting up a big dynamic between him and Jade moving forward. So
yeah. What about Elgin?
He's got to pay, right? He's either going in the box or dead, right? Like, okay, they can't repeat the Sarah situation over and over again with, well, we can't bring him in the box. He's touched by this place. Like, there needs to be a line between this at some point. I mean, is he being mentally controlled, or is he just listening to an enchanted Polaroid? I mean, and he's not, and Elgin's making poor decisions because he thinks he's helping them out there. I don't know if Elgin and Sarah are similar in the way that they were engaged, but she got off without being killed. And I don't think this place kills Elgin because they use him. He's like, Vigo taking him over. So I think Elgin dies now. Like, now that we're kind of going down this road with him, I will say Elgin's high on my death list right now, Tony.
I was talking to Real Ignibus and Theories, and he pointed out to me And in the main poster, Elgin, they post him with the 2 other people who are dead.
Oh, interesting. Good pickup, dude. Good pickup by him.
Yeah, so it's the fact that he's with it. They put them all there together with the other people that are dead. So
He seems dead man walking on the Green Mile a little bit. Like he just be once you go this route, they can't. How can he come back? Essentially, find his way back for me. You know that they're gonna be like, okay, Elgin.
He's right. If he's right. If he's right, if what he's doing is right and he's doing the right thing, that's how he gets back. If what he's doing is actually right and it's actually he's got, then he comes back. Chris, thank you for this $20 super chat. At the moment Elgin started walking away from the door, telling Fatima to go inside, she should have ran right out there, knowing fully well that Ellis would never send for her and he would come himself. Of course, yeah, I agree that she should have known better, and she almost kicked Elgin's ass. But I think it was the stomach cramps that got to it. And listen, man, Elgin, my man, you know Nathan, I don't like the way they doing my boy like this, letting this little woman who may weigh $105 if she's lucky push his big ass around like that. That's not the way. That's not realistic to me, man. Come on. I understand when he dragged her, he don't want to hurt. So I guess she's pregnant. He says she's pregnant. The baby inside of her. That's what he says. And but she shouldn't have been able to push him that hard.
Yeah,
it was down. He almost did a backflip. She pushed his ass so hard.
She's got the demon strength in her, to be fair, Tony. She's been eating blood and killing tillies and stuff. So she's got the exorcist strength inside of her. So perhaps that was the situation.
She got something inside. Luna says, thank you for the super chat. $5. Despite our judgy attitudes, these people are responding like real people would. They will bring all their beliefs, fears, and attitudes. We need to remember that. I agree and don't agree. I mean, it's no way anyone could tell anyone how they will react in a situation like this. It's just too crazy of a situation for anyone to think logically how they will react, because you never would know. No one would know until you actually put up in there. Saggy Star, super chat for Phil Issues Guy, $10 says, why? So what does this pregnancy mean for the storyline? I feel like we are sidetracking. It's a lot of time spent on this pregnancy.
The whole season.
It seems like it's almost the whole season.
Yeah,
is based around this pregnancy. This cannot be a Jasper situation. If this turns out to be a Jasper situation with this fucking pregnancy, then I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
Yeah,
it has to lead to something.
Yeah, it makes it so the season, because initially when the season starts out after the first few episodes, if you had asked me to speculate what the overall thing was going to be this season, it would be Boyd capturing one of them. And instead, since that point, we haven't really seen the creatures again, and we've been
They got scared. They heard that shit. They trying to get us. They trying to bag us up.
Exactly. They're trying to, or are they just trying to break him in different ways? And at parts in the last episode, in this episode, you can see the look on Boyd's face where I think it's starting to come together for him that everything that's happening in town right now is actually how this place is working to break him. Instead of hunting at, I think it's only been 2 days though. Like in the showtime, we've only had like one night. It's been like 2 nights that we've actually seen. So it really hasn't been too long, but it seems longer. But essentially, Tony, yes, if this pregnancy it's ending up that this is the main story arc of the season. This is the music box cicada thing from last year is the pregnancy thing from this year.
100%. Jules, thank you for the super sticker. And Chris, another super chat. Acosta is going to have a serious problem with Boyd once she inevitably finds out Boyd has now covered up not 1 but 2 murders going to be on site. It's none of her business. She a new jack to this place. That's the way I would look at it. Like if she tried to say, listen, you don't know how it rolls here. You don't know how we get down here. You don't cover up 2 murders. Don't come to me with this. And that guy lied. And didn't she kill your father? She didn't kill his father. Did she leave the door open? Yes. But she didn't. The way the guy made it seem like she physically killed him. And
like she was Norman Bates or something. Like stabbing people.
That guy gets got. I hope he gets got, that guy with his big mouth, big lion mouth. Jules, thank you for the super chat. we have when you have cramps as a woman, you turn into the Hulk. Oh, do you really? I stay away from all these women who cramp.
Oh, smash.
But she was out there. But yeah, that guy was a big mouth. I got no love for that cat right there, man. He's a big mouth. And the girl that was with him is too hot to be with him.
I was like, they're a couple. Wait, and the thing with Acosta that some people are thinking might be trouble. I feel like they maybe tip their hat to it. Maybe I could be wrong. Where she might try to stop Sarah without figuring out the truth. The way she was sort of hitting up on Kenny about, oh, Sarah, there's a murderer in town, and Boyd, they're listening to Boyd, no one cares. It seems like she might try to, at least initially, I thought she was going to just go and shoot Sarah. Like she had go attack Sarah for some situation, but she definitely is fixing to be trouble for Boyd in the sense of like turning Kenny against him. And there was hints at that too. Could the end of this season, Tony, be where the whole town is against Boyd, like 100% against him, and Costa and Kenny and Donna are all sort of...
I could see them linking up and getting rid of Boyd and taking him out of power, and Boyd getting moved. I just don't think anyone's badass enough to do anything. Boyd would have to willingly accept it. Like, right. No one's physically strong enough to do it. He'll have to drop his gun, move out, and say, all right, this is what y'all want, I'm going. That's the only way. They can't physically do anything to Boyd. Julie B. Deep Dive says she did kill Kenny's father for all intentions and purposes, and she sliced and diced Toby with her own hands. I don't get the love. Let me explain to you a little bit, Julie B. Then let me give you a deep dive.
Take a deep dive, Tony. Let
me dive deep into this one. Motherfucker, let's go into this pool. And number one, she didn't kill him. She was told to leave the door open. She didn't know that they would be able to find his ass. She didn't know that was going to happen. She didn't leave. She knew that it's a possibility that someone got killed, but she didn't know specifically that he was going to die from that. As for sliced and diced Toby, well, nobody know about that. No one knows she killed Toby. That's still a secret. So the town should not hold that against her right now, right? The town shouldn't hold that against her. She didn't know. She didn't know. You don't know what's gonna happen if the shit opened. And she had no idea. So no, I got love for Sarah, and because Father Kotri had love for Sarah, because she said straight up she's connected to this place in more ways than one. I'm telling you that the connection is that she's Victor's sister. That's what it's going to be. That's why she's so connected. But now, not only, I'm not going to talk about her being the best looking girl on the show. I'm not going to talk about that. We didn't even got to go there with it. But I will say that, in the end, did she do something? What happened to her with Toby, she was manipulated to do. If you're going to blame her, then I want to see the same hate for Fatima. Because Fatima really killed somebody. She stabbed an old lady. And I don't see that Fatima hate. I just see poor Fatima. Oh my God, she's going through so much.
That's because no one trusted Tilly, Tony. Everyone thinks that Fatima stopped.
Because it was Tilly. No one cared about Tilly.
No, Tilly, they wanted that.
Cared about Tilly. That's why they saying it.
Tilly was trouble. That's why. Tilly.
Yeah, that's it. I don't see that same hate for that. You know what I mean? Over here, everywhere we go.
And Elgin, essentially, too, depending on the fate of the situation. If Elgin is kind of controlled by this place as well, they're all sort of manipulated at the base level.
They don't listen. The bottom line is that they don't. Everyone dies in the town without Sarah, right? Everyone without Sarah, everyone in the town is dead right now. Period. Point blank. End of story. You can't say that about Fatima. She saved the whole town, Sarah. The whole town. Any people could be in the chat like, how the hell did she save the whole town? She found the music box. She knew the music box was there. She reached on the ground and she was like, it's right here in the ruins. I can't see it, but the box is right here. Oh, and that made Boyd go back there with the torch and know where the music box was to smash it. So if she didn't go back there and find the music box like she did, everybody in town is dead from the creature, from the dream.
And
creature.
Julie added that she kidnapped Ethan. I mean, who doesn't want to kill Ethan sometimes? Come on,
She
come on,
did.
Julie. Who doesn't want to kill Ethan sometimes?
She got confused because they told her to kill the boy, and the boy she had to kill was really the boy in white, but it was
right, exactly. There was a confusion in the boy situation.
She just got confused.
I'm totally with you. Tony, will you please say the name Tilly one more time?
Tilly.
Thank you. That was for Rochelle in the live chat.
Don't make me pull the Johnny Cochran out here. I gotta be a little Johnny Cochran on the film. I got love for Sarah, so but I think if things happen to you in this town that take you out of normally who you are, and we have to start realizing that, and we have to treat those situations differently. And then that's just what it is. I mean, I think we got another super chat somewhere. Let me go down. We got this one right here. I really, from TMI, thank you so much. It says, I really need a timeline breakdown when people to lay off Sarah, but how long has it been forever? From what did Donna say when she came on the channel? She said
weeks. I'm guessing essentially it's been each season is about a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah, she said when she came on our channel a little bit ago, she just said it's been weeks. That's it. That's
so probably like 6 weeks for the whole since the Matthews have arrived. 6 to 10 weeks.
It's only been weeks. It hasn't been months or anything else. Just weeks. That's what she said. I'm going with the actress on the show, but she says they even try to figure out the timeline themselves, the actors and everything.
Yeah, I think a season a week is essentially how we're supposed to have grasped it here.
You know what I mean? That's the way I would say. So yeah, we got over 430 people up in here rocking. Make sure you hit that third thumbs up for your boys up in here and everything else. And we will open up the phone lines in a little bit. We'll open the phone lines up. We're gonna go right now into.
Oh, is it time? And I just want to thank everyone. We got almost 60 people on the Fill the Issues Guy channel, which is the all-time for the season. So thank you to everyone over there checking it out and mixed in. Make sure all of you guys that are over in Fill the Issues Guy subscribe right now to Teflon TV because he is so freaking close to 100,000 subscribers. Let's get him over the edge here. So close. You're so close. No pause. Let's explode Tony over that 100,000 all over the damn place.
Let's get there.
And, let's do this thing. And I guess it's time. It's time to get into this recap. And again, I have a back, so we'll have to do a different kind of recap tonight. So it's time for the recap.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Was that too loud?
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Okay.
That was perfect.
Okay. So sorry, can't run around like an idiot. I hurt my back, and but so we'll have to deal with some silly drum solo recap stuff. Okay, so we open up to Boyd talking to Fatima. Tony, this is one of the first times they didn't come right in after the end of the last episode. I want to hang out at Colony House. I mean, how can you not put Tony and I in the background? I'll be playing some congas in the background.
It's amazing that we're not on the show already, man. They should have already had us in there on the show. Glue Guy says, Tony, you need to do a recap dance as Phil plays the drums next time. I'll do a rap for you next time. I'll make a wrap up for you. And
yeah, I'll play a beat. I'll play a beat before the show for Tony to agree to, and then I'll rock into it.
I heard one of these dudes on this show thinks he can rap and stuff. Maybe we can get him on here and try to battle the Don.
Ooh, I think it's a battle going on.
Who is it? Randall? Maybe. It's all,
I think was Elgin was telling us about, or not?
Yeah. I think it's Randall. We got to battle Randall. We're gonna have to get on him a little bit. All right, let's go with the recap.
So we and thank you to everybody. Yes, sitting in the captain's chair, Sonic. I was gonna start screaming it, but I forgot to turn on the microphone over there. Okay, but we didn't come right in from the end of last episode. We kind of yada to Boyd already with Fatima. Instead of seeing Ellis and Fatima come to Boyd and tell them about the situation. No real weird information there or any sort of stuff. It's just interesting that that's a They didn't have to show us that, but usually what they'll do is go right into the next situation. Instead, they kind of skipped one beat, which was just, I think, an interesting directorial decision, which was a little different, which was kind of cool. So they open up with a boy talking to Fatima, taking her to the cabin. She explains the situation. She says she felt a wave of anger and rage inside her. It just couldn't stop her. Something inside her was there. Something controlled her, felt her hand. She couldn't stop herself. Tilly needed to die. I don't know. There's really some. It seems like you're overselling. I don't know about you, Tony. It seems like she's a little overselling. I think she did this more herself than she's willing to admit. I don't know.
I don't. I mean, you have to take her from everything that we've known about her personality that we've seen. This is not her nature. This is not something she would do. We only seen her get mad that one time at the creatures when she got damn, she was screaming. That's the only anger that we've seen. So therefore, for that, I would have to say this is 100% out of character. Thank you, Chris, for the super chat. So how the hell did Victor miss a whole ass kid as the one talking to Victor was mistaken for a doll? You can't believe anything that Victor remembers until the second time around. If they show you any memory of Victor, don't believe it until he remembers it twice. That is
he's not a reliable narrator.
Never the full story. Yeah, it's never
Tony, he's not
ever had a flashback. It's never been the full story. The full story always comes in number 2.
Yeah, he's never a first-time reliable narrator. So he says he'll keep her till the morning, figure out what to do moving forward. She says, and a very good line read by Pega, what if there is no moving forward? And he's like, your family will find a way to deal, with a look on his face that betrays that. With a look on his face going like, you fucking stabbed somebody. What the fuck? And he leaves her some rotten food and tells her she should eat it so she doesn't get worse.
Was it rotten food he left her?
Was it? I figured it was rotten food.
It was in some Tupperware. So
so maybe it was good food. At first, like the first time I was watching it, Tony, I was like, did he give her a piece of Tilly? Did they like cut off part of Tilly's hand and she's gonna like eat some finger licking Tilly after that situation? But no, and he leaves her some food and tells her to get her strength. I assumed he left her the junk, but maybe not. And he says, you need to be strong for Ellis, and he leaves and heads out of there. And then we come back. The group is back from the rocks, and Jade goes his own way, and the Matthews go home. Matthews headed into their separate division at their house. Ethan goes upstairs. Tabitha goes one way, Jim goes another way, and Jade heads to the bar and pour a drink. And of course, who's in the bar, Tony? But everyone's favorite alcoholic, Henry.
Henry is an alcoholic. All right. We've said it from the jump, and now it's confirmed. This guy's got a problem with alcohol, all right? He's taking a shit in this fucking place with no toilet paper. He's up in there. Jay comes in there. You can see the reaction when you look. Go back and look. You see his nose react first before he hears it. So that means he smelled something. And that
he was dropping a deuce in there for sure.
Yeah, I was like, you can see it in his nose. His nose goes up first, and he hears it. He knew that someone was fucking, someone was fucking shitting up in there. You know what I mean? And Henry come out stumbling out this motherfucker, shitty ass and everything else. and it's fucking 4 in the morning. Was it 6 o'clock in the morning? Hey, you want a drink? you have a drink.
He's just hanging in there.
7 a.m. in the morning. What's he say? What was the exact line that he said? Hair of the dog. Did he say hair of the dog or something like that?
Do you think he even left the bar after Donna? You think he
pick me up? No, he's been there all night.
Do you think he just passed out there after hanging out with Donna? He just woke up, took a dump, and came out and he's drinking some more?
There's no doubt about it. He didn't shower. He wasn't even concerned about showering, Henry. He wasn't concerned about washing. He's like, I need to pick me up.
He's like, there's a bar here? Oh, fuck yeah. I'm not doing anything else.
What? You get to drink for free? Fuck yeah.
I'm Victor's daddy. I can drink here for free, right? I'm Victor's daddy. He even said that. I'm not kidding. That's what he said. He goes, oh, I'm Victor's daddy. Oh, yeah, I heard of you. That's okay if I got to come and pick me up, can I drink some more?
Chris, another super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. You're being very generous tonight. He said, on everything, I was waiting on Donna to hop out the room after Henry walked out. Yeah, some people were saying that he was smashing Donna in the bathroom. You know what I mean? But Donna's not that type. It's not that type of one. What up, Thickly is in the building, Rockwell, and exiting the paradigms up in there. But nah, he came out there, stank ass and all, and just sat his stank ass sitting on the chair, slipping on the chair, and just started going to town on some more drinks and shit. You know?
Yeah, and he's not leaving there all fucking day. And he cheers his. Oh, and I forgot to say, Jade was about to have a drink, and he decided not to, so he's staying as clear-minded as the spirit told him to as he goes through there. Dead Tom, yep. So we go to Mari walking up to Colony House, and some dude found some red shirt dude found Tony. Who'd he find? Tilly. And then Elgin gets another picture from the enchanted Polaroid camera, and he gets a look, and it's I don't have the picture of it, but I believe it was an IV bag filled with blood.
Yeah, it was an IV bag. We don't see it right then, but there was an IV.
Right. The question I have about the whole blood thing, was it because Fatima can eat the rotten food, but only the blood makes her strong enough to birth whatever's happening inside her? So is he giving the blood so she can drink blood, or is it blood for like a transfusion purposes? I'm not sure.
They put that shit in the mason jar.
I think they're feeding that to her.
Yeah, they put it in the mason jar. Usually when shit's in the mason jar, it's for eating and drinking.
Yeah, she's gonna be jugging that shit like next week.
They didn't have him put it in the IV bag so they could fill an IV bag up in it, and so that she could put it in her arm. They put that shit in the mason jar.
Yeah, she's gonna be drinking it.
They put it in the mason jar, unless Elgin's gonna dip his shit up in there and say, "Hey,
I can."
Don't do that though, Elgin.
I can put my balls in it.
No, don't make it one of those fun dips from back in the day. You don't
no fun dip, no state bit. Don't do it. No. So this was an interesting scene with Julie and Randall. Julie comes up to Randall in the hospital and asks him to thank Christy and Mari for letting her stay there, and Randall gets a little sassy. Well, where's my thank you? Well, that was a little much, Randall. Hold it back, buddy. That was a little too much flirtiness, buddy boy. Anyways, he says that to her, and then she kind of hints that she wants to go back to the place, go back to the rocks. And he goes, I'm not going back there. That's a place that makes the hair in the back of my neck stand up. I'm not dealing with that. I'm staying as far away from that place as possible. And Julie's like, wimp. And she walks out. She walks out of there to go ask someone braver to go with her. With the
100%. Now, listen, I like the character of Randall. Again, if I was in there, the person I would most likely would be like Randall. That would be my attitude. My attitude is a lot like
you'd be a lot more friendly and
I'm friendlier. But when it comes to certain
you're
things,
smarter too. You're way smarter.
I am much smarter than Randall. But when it comes down to certain things, like you're not taking my shit and wearing it. We're not using. You're not wearing my clothes. I'm not having that. I'd rather sleep on the truck than have y'all going rummaging through my shit. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be like that. You know what I mean? With Randall, working out. He looks like he works out a lot. This dude, he looks like he's in good shape. Not many people in there look like they're in good shape. So I would think that, that would be something that I would be doing if I was there. I'd be doing a lot of push-ups. I would be doing a lot of calisthenics in there.
But you're not a dick to people. I've seen you around other people. You're not a dick.
No, I'm not. I'm exactly what I see. I'm a fun person.
You're a nice guy.
Everything I see about the dude, I would think that would be the way I would be. I wouldn't be like Randall. It's only one I've seen here besides Boyd to stand up to Jim. Yeah. Until this episode.
Oh, Henry. Henry in this episode too. And
Jade too.
Jade to a certain, but Jade doesn't really stand up. He just sort of like bitches and runs. He's like, rah, he stands up and he's like, fuck you. I'm not dealing with this shit. You're beneath me. I'm walking away. I mean, Jade's the best example of that John Goodman line, or the line in the Big Lebowski about John Goodman's character. You're right, Walter, but you're still an asshole. Like Jade is right all the time, but he's still an asshole. But it doesn't matter if it gets them home, as we get into that scene in a little bit. But Boyd is preparing with Oh, sorry. I ended up way down. Okay, so the Matthews head in separate division. Henry's drinking real fast. Julie comes in to Randall and all that. Okay, so Boyd is preparing with Ellis. Oh, talking to Ellis, and like, let's straight up say what Boyd is doing right here. He's setting up an alibi with Ellis. He's like, Ellis, you and Fatima with me all night. Like, don't worry about it. I'm the one investigating this. You're not in trouble. They're doing what, I guess, the biggest, it's very human, Tony. Like, when something fucked up happens, and we've both been through some fucked up shit, like, one of the things that a lot of people do is just pretend it doesn't happen. You know, you're just, and Boyd is trying to get to that. And even when they're talking to Donna later, they're like, you just deny till you die kind of vibe.
The problem I see with Boyd's character, you know, especially from a cat from Brooklyn, New York, you know what I mean? I don't know if the character's supposed to be from Brooklyn, but the actor's from Brooklyn. The character, he doesn't have follow through. He always puts up the front like he's cool to do it, but when it comes down to it, he don't know how to follow through with it. Even the dude in the box, like, you know, the priest was like, "Yo, you put a guillotine in the middle of town, but you don't got the conviction to use it. Why'd you even put it there?" "I put it there as a deterrent." Well, it didn't work. It didn't deter. Now you got to use it, and it doesn't seem like. And he tried to give that guy. That guy had to give himself up.
Yeah, that guy killed himself. That guy died by suicide by cop.
Was gonna let him get away with it, you know. So here's another situation. Fatima did something, and he's gonna let him get away with it, you know. But he pulled the gun on Father Kotri when he seen the bloody shirt. You know, when Father Kotri was telling him how he had to murder that dude for molesting his kid,
he was gonna kill Costa.
Like, I'm about to murk you.
He was going to kill your girl Acosta in the right situation. If she had made the wrong move, he'd have snapped her fucking neck at that moment.
Then I would have had to come on.
Then Tony really would have had to come to town.
That'd be it.
So he's trying to explain to Ellis, just setting him up for, there's no situation that she's going into the box. Tells Ellis to pack a small bag, not a big bag. Don't attract attention to yourself. Get a small bag and get prepared, like me getting a dime bag in high school. So Kenny grabs.
Real quick though, he could have packed the big bag and just said he's going to the settlement.
Yeah,
because they all walking with huge fucking knapsacks. They got fucking carrot sticks hanging out the top of their bags and shit. He could have been like, I'm going back to the settlement and pack the big bag.
To go set it up or go get extra food because my wife's pregnant or something like that. He has a good situation. So Kenny grabs Boyd to go check out the murder scene. Acosta's already there looking very closely. Boyd asks bullshit questions he knows the answers to make sure no one is suspecting Ellis and Fatima. Boyd's good at this cover-up shit. And Acosta is like, the monsters like don't stab people with cutting shears, do they, Boyd? But in fairness, she comes up with a good plan. She's gonna talk to all the people in the house, and Boyd says he's gonna walk the road to go see if anyone came into town that they didn't know and did this. And Acosta agrees. They head out, and he says something to Kenny, distracts it, like, "I know you're not my deputy anymore, but keep moving on, deputy dog.
It's all good, but her ass is fat, so I'm gonna go with her." That's what Kenny was really thinking.
That's
what Kenny was thinking.
That's exactly what Kenny said. Let's not twist this around. That's exactly what Kenny says.
Kenny was saying. He said, "The ass is too fat. I gotta go with it. Don't worry about it. I ain't your deputy, but yeah, I'm gonna go with her. I'm gonna go with her. Don't worry about it, boys. I'm gonna go." Death Shadow Shinobi says, "Tony, you could be on the show, but you have to wear Kenny's high water jeans. You accept?" Let me tell you something, brother. I'm a black man here. I'm heavy in the front and the back. Those jeans would not come up over my thighs, baby. It's impossible. I have to cut a hole in the whole shit. There's just no way them skinny ass jeans will fit my body type. It's just not working. I'm just gonna be honest about it. So I couldn't rock that. I can't rock that. It's just
the costume department would have their work cut out for them. So she stops and asks them, "Are they good?" And he says, "Yeah, whatever the fuck. Let's figure this shit out." So here comes Donna, like a Harvey Keitel in what's his name's character in Pulp Fiction, like the wolf. So she comes in the wolf to clean up the body and stuff like that. And she's immediately people want to kill Sarah. Immediately, where's Sarah? And Boyd's like, "Sarah didn't do this." She's like, "Okay, that's all well and good. Where the fuck's Sarah?" I'm gonna go talk to Sarah. And Boyd's like, no. It's not Sarah. We'll go together to talk to her. And Donna's like, "Okay, whatever. We'll both go and talk to Sarah."
Yeah, listen, they just would have put. I could see Sarah getting the blame on this right off the bat and everything else. Let's go to the super chats real quick. Chris said on everything. I was waiting for Donna to hop out the room. Henry, what we did that one. And Luna says, "Isn't Boyd doing what Dale accused him of?" He is doing exactly
essentially.
There's no doubt about it. That if it affects you, no go. Everyone else. And in the end, this is going to come back, as Donna said. People are not trusting his ass and everything else. That's not, you can't be that. You got to be even keeled on this situation.
And Tony, let's not flip it around like what I was saying earlier. This is all like a plan. This is all set up. What would break Boyd? We both were talking about it at the beginning of the season when this pregnancy thing was just in the background. If this thing went bad, this would break Boyd. It would put him in a situation against the town. The whole town is going to be against him at the end of this season. He is going to have lost the town and lost everything. And this town is going to be beating him in that way. They can't break him by murdering people in front of him, but they can break him by making sure he has nothing and taking away his grandson and, giving him a grandchild and then taking it away and all this sort of stuff that they're doing, this psychological warfare, Tony, that they were doing on him, that I think by the end of this season, Boyd is going to be broken. And
yeah, I think that was the beginning. That's their plan. They said you can't break him, and I think that they have to now. Listen, boy,
I don't know where you're going. I can't wait.
I don't want to give him a nickname, Brokeback Boyd.
Oh,
if I don't want to give him that nickname, Phil.
But you mean it in a different way.
Yeah, I don't want to have to give him nickname Brokeback Boyd, right? Because that's what they're going for here, all right? That's the go.
Someone in the live chat said Breaking Boyd. Maybe that's better. Like break.
Brokeback Boyd.
But no. Tony prefers Brokeback Boyd.
I don't prefer it, Phil. Right?
It's the most accurate and sonically pleasing to the ears.
That's it. If it gets broken, that's what we're gonna call it.
I like the alliteration of it, so we're gonna go with that.
That's what we're going. Brokeback Boyd.
Okay, so we cut right from talking about Sarah to Sarah. I don't have my puppet with me, but it was really funny. Like Sarah talking through Jasper. Hey, Victor. Hey, you want to play? And Victor just goes, No, that's not it. That's not what it sounded like, Sarah.
Sarah did a tremendous job.
No, Tony. Sarah, it doesn't sound like that. No.
You did tremendous. Like, hey, Victor. Like, to even, let me tell you something. If some grown-ass man came to me and said, you're going to play this puppet and speak to me in the puppet, and she moved the hand and everything. She was like, hi, Victor. How you doing there, buddy?
No, that's not how you do it, Sarah. That's not how you do it. I love it. It was so good. So he throws a tantrum. You're not doing it right, Sarah. And he just starts hitting himself. And I'm not going to do that part of it. And bad, not good. And
let's give the props to the actor Scott McCoy.
Oh, he fucking killed it.
It's hard to play a child here. You know what I mean? It's hard to play a child going here right there. Maria D says Victor gonna break Sarah. That's his sister. You can't do that to her. That's his sister, Maria. I'm telling you, trust me on this. That's his sister. So you can't run that.
So Tony, we've gone this far without talking about this guy. So let's get into it. As we go into the Matthews house, we get Jim coming to Tabby, telling her why she's not the chosen one. Listen, Tabitha, I don't care what anyone tells you. You're not the chosen one. Stop.
You're not special, Tabitha.
You're not special, damn it.
You're not special.
Look at this telephone.
Thomas, you're not special, Tab.
No, I'm special, Tabitha, because Thomas called me on the phone the other day, Tabitha. Everyone, they know all about us, Tabitha. They don't know shit. You're not special. You're not special. And then someone.
Do you make roller coasters? No, I do. All right.
Do you have Imagineers at Disney World calling you? No, I do. I do, Tabitha.
You're not special. All right. So stop thinking that you are. You're just my wife and raise our kids.
Listen.
And that's it.
Listen. Listen, Tabitha. So, anyways, and I'm glad we get some comeuppance later in the episode, but we'll get to that later. But it's Sarah's knocking at your door, and Sarah, in a very funny way, almost like the Batman animated series episode, Batman in My Basement. She's like, Victor's in my basement. Could you help? I just love how she says that. The line delivery was so good. Victor's in my basement, and he's needs you, Tabitha. And Tabitha just like, okay, fuck, I'll go. I'll come. Anything to get me the fuck away from Jim, Tony. It's like that. That's what she's getting the expression. Get me out of this conversation.
Yeah. She's like, I gotta go. I'm out right now. So I smacked the shit out this dude. Because she smacked his hand already.
Dude.
And I'm telling you, I can see Tabitha kicking Jim's ass. I can see it. Let me tell you something about Latin women, man. I've been around them my whole life. They're very spicy.
Yeah.
They're black women. Latin women is black women anyway. They're very spicy. And Italian and Jewish women too. Moms especially. They're spicy, man. You don't mess with these women, man. And, you know, they smack the shit at you. You know, that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Thank you for the super chat, Mia Moore. It says Boyd has only mentioned 3 possible names for Acosta, either Abby, Lauren, Kelly, maybe. Boyd has only mentioned 3 names for Acosta, either Abby, Lauren, Kelly, or maybe. Why? Because everyone who has a
name,
who has a name is somehow connected to Boyd. I think is what he's saying. Because I think like the guy who got killed and his girlfriend, you put their names together, was the same name that Boyd had when he was in the military, like his friends or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So we'll see on that. I do remember something like that. So maybe, I mean, if her name is Abby Acosta, they do the double A. I don't know if that works for Brian Kelly is in there. Yeah, Brian Kelly was a guy that was in his thing, and the girl's name was Kelly, and the man's name was Brian. So it could be, unless he brings up someone else, 100%.
So, okay, so Sarah's there. They head out. We cut right into Elgin in the hospital looking for something, and Randall finds them. He's like, drugs aren't here, dude. And Elgin is like, not drugs, Band-Aid. And you better not get caught by Christy and Mari. They'll be pissed. They talk about Tilly, and he apologizes. He was hard on him on the bus, and she should have been right. He should have turned around, but it was too late anyways. And he says, I shouldn't have puked on you. And Randall walks away, and Elgin picks up a blood IV kit.
That's when he grabs the IV kit. Again, not a lot of Randall this episode. Randall, to me, it comes down to it when only thing they can really do is he's going to have to get together with Julie. They have to do some Voltron shit.
The three of them need to get together.
Or some Wonder Twins power activate. They got to put their fists together. Something's got to happen that they need to get something going on here, something like that. Because Randall gets acting like a little bitch and just I'm not going back out there. You said it before. I think you referred to him as broken, like buck broke, like he's been broken. Yeah, he's buck broke. He's been buck broke. There's no doubt about it. They broke him.
So Tony was saying that earlier in the season, and I think you're seeing the effects of that pay off here towards the end of the season. He's barely being able to maintain a relationship, and that's one of those things. I know when I've gone through a lot, and I'm sure you as well, Tony. It's like you socialize, you talk to somebody, and then you rescind. You go back and forth, and I think that's where Randall is right now. Like he did socialize with Julie, and that kind of freaks him out. Like when you're in that state, being communicative with people kind of is difficult. Speaking of people that stuff to communicate with, off to Victor in the basement, and Tabitha and Sarah come here, and he's happy that Tabitha come sit here down with the doll, and this is where we talk about Eloise, tell me the secrets, and she asks him if he wants to draw a picture. She kind of calms him down. It's interesting how Sarah watches this whole situation like a sister watching.
It's the whole family. They're the whole family is right there.
It seemed like it was very family, like the way Sarah was kind of watching in the background, and Tabitha calms him down. And I mean, I'm going to yada yada this because this isn't the big scene. It's the big scene's next one, but says everything's going to be okay and we'll figure this out together, and kind of sits her down. Basically, Tabitha calms him down and they start to figure it out and put it together. So this is Jim 101, Tony. And people that say I'm too hard on Jim or Jim's a great parent in all situations. This next scene is prime example of why Jim sucks. Julie comes home after being gone all night. Jim's coming downstairs, getting ready with a bug up his ass to go talk to Jade. Because, the spoiler alert, the next scene is him talking to Jade. And Julie's like, hey, dad, and like all fucked up, been through all this shit. And he's just like, okay, you're okay, and just leaves and goes, your brother's upstairs, go take care of him. She's just like, what? He doesn't even stop and talk to her. Notice that his daughter's all fucked up or been through a lot of shit, and just like runs out of there pissed off out of jealousy and ego, while she leaves his kids together to go bring Ethan to the dangerous situation with Julie. So she goes into a friggin', I know it's good for us for answers, but basically put Julie at danger because he wouldn't talk to his damn daughter. I don't know. Jim's not a good dad.
No, Jim's not. And I think the actor would agree. That I would agree if he's talking about the character Jim as not being a good dad. And I think Henry.
We're talking about the character.
Yeah. I think the actor would agree that Jim's not a good dad. And I think Henry said it what it truly is. That this is for you. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. And we'll talk about that when we get there.
Absolutely. And I think I got disconnected there for a second. But yeah, absolutely. I think he's done a great job. And we don't say this enough. And I don't say this enough. The hate that Jim brings from people that watch this show is a credit to how well the actor's playing the character.
Yeah, he's a good heel. He's a good heel. You have to have a heel, right? You have to have a heel. And this is a wrestling term people aren't familiar with. There's baby faces are the good guys and the bad guys are the heel. And the good guy can never look good unless the heel does his job.
Yep.
And he does a great job being a dickhead, right? He's a great dickhead here. You know what I mean? And that's what works. And that's why it makes everyone else look better. It makes Jade look better. It makes Tabitha look better because of him being such a good heel. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think tonight was the first time, and we'll get to it in a moment here, the first time where we see more of a human side of Jim, and we see the wink to the fact that everyone that's been hating on him is right, and they know that, and they're intentionally playing him in that way for you to be fucking frustrated with the douchebag. Okay, so Julie goes to Ethan's room, and he's on the floor, and she asks him to go someplace dangerous with her because, she doesn't have anyone else to go with, and he's like, okay. So we go over to the bar with Vic's dad and Jade. Vic's dad is telling the story about his wife, how he should have listened to her. He's drunk. He's just, I should have listened to my wife 30 years ago about the vision. Jade, I heard my wife dreamt of this place. And Jade's like, I know. You said that 17 times. Shut up. And then he goes, why do you think you're going to be the one? A lot of smart people tried to figure out how to get here. And Jade says, well, I'm smarter than all of them. So then we get Jim coming on in here, getting in Jade's face, telling him, stay away from my wife. Stay away from my kids. You have a hero complex. Get the fuck out of here. And Jade says, your wife's an adult. She's not a 9-year-old. Fuck off, Jim. And he's like, no. Jim straight up, Tony, puts his hands on Jade. He actually
he tried to son him. Like, he didn't put his hands on him in in a rough way.
No, it was
he put his hands on him, let him know.
Listen,
put his hands right on his shoulders, like, yo, let him know I'm touching you right now, bro. And then Jade was like, get your fucking hands off me, bro. But he tried to son him by putting his hands on him like that. You know what I mean? And then Jade said the truth. Like, listen, bro, let me be real about it. I'm the only one fucking trying to help your family get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You ain't doing shit. Ever since your little fucking radio experiment, you ain't did shit. I'm the one that's doing it. And as for your wife, tell your wife stop coming around me. I'm not married to you. That's y'all commitment. Listen, I have had that conversation before.
Me too.
With women and men. Dealing with a woman who had a man. And I had to let him know, like, listen, it's the same situation. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't cool with you, bro. We ain't friends. Y'all broke up. And you gotta assume the Matthews on this thing, they broke up. They're getting a divorce. That's the bottom line. Now, all of a sudden, they get a little closer, but the divorce should have been going through, right? You break up with your woman, Phil, I'm sure you've been in a situation, a lot of men in the chat and women in the chat, where you meet someone who's broken up with somebody, and then that person tries to say, well, we trying to work it out. So you think that you can back off a little bit because no, you trying to work it out.
That's not my problem.
Come to me saying she wanted to work it out. All right, so you need to have that conversation.
Yeah, that's a conversation between you
and if
two
she
over there.
come to me and tell me, yo, I'm trying to work it out, then I'll step away.
Yeah, Tony,
But
I've been
not
on.
you. I hate dudes like that. I had dudes try to pay me, son, and I took the money. Pay me, like, yo, Steve, I'll take the money, yep, and I still smashed.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That's my younger days when I was wilding out there. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just gonna say the same. Not that same. But I was gonna say I took money, but I've been on like all sides, and when you're on the other side, that it's your responsibility to talk to your partner about that sort of stuff. But Jim was also just Jim's yelling at him and basically saying those things, you know, in an argument, Tony, when you say shit about yourself. He's like, you're a lonely, narcissistic asshole. And you're just talking about yourself there, Jim. And Jade just like, I don't have time for your fucking bullshit. And Henry's watching this whole thing, eating popcorn, drinking in the background, going, this is the best floor show in the town. Like, I sure picked the best fucking bar to hang out. And Jim's like, we're not done. And Jade slams the door and heads out. And Henry's drinking and shows where Victor gets it and says with his funny fucking ridiculous sort of thing. You know what? That was a totally productive fucking. Well, that conversation was productive.
That was productive.
Sorry, I was trying to stall to get the drum thing, but yeah, that was a fucking productive situation.
Lou says, what was Elgin doing with the blood bag, copying the photo, prepping the snack? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. We believe that's Fatima's gonna drink that motherfucker. It was put in a mason jar, not in a IV bag. So therefore, Fatima gonna slurp that shit down. That
was food snack. I hope he freezes it to make some pops or something like that to make it easier to put it in,
like, do they have
ice
freezers and ice?
I mean, you got to figure if that some of the stuff at the diner has to be refrigerated, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, they must have some ice up in there.
Maybe, I don't know. People
got a Jade in that motherfucker. Right?
Have we seen ice in refrigerators? I don't know.
I don't know if we've seen ice in refrigerators.
But what we've seen from Fatima, she's gonna get up in that regardless of anything. She's gonna be snacking on that shit. Okay, so we go to
who was that? She may pour it over her body, like she. Just start rubbing it around.
Yeah, dude, she's gonna love it.
She might just be rubbing it. I'm here for it though. Hope she does.
Oh, slow. I hope they slow motion.
Yeah, you gotta do that slow, and you gotta pour some sugar on me when it's doing it. That's what you gotta do. I'm hot, sticky sweet from my head to my feet. She's gotta drink it down like that.
Oh yeah. I'm all about it. I'm all about that. Okay, so we go to Ellis, who wants to talk to Fatima about this music video idea that Tony and I have, and he's telling her that they can figure this out. And he's like, we can do this, we can figure this out. And she's like, stop, you and your dad need to stop saying that. I fucking killed someone. And he's like, no, we're stronger. We're gonna be stronger because of this. We'll live in the woods with talismans. We'll be okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like with the guy from Kristen Cole.
Yes, totally.
Pull that shit with Rhaenyra. Like, listen, we can leave. You don't have to be queen anymore. We can go live off the land, and I can be a sellsword. And she's like, what? Not be queen? It's just to fuck you? Please. Are you crazy? Please. What you thinking?
So
I'm that's up in this bitch.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Live off the land with you. Your D ain't that good. What is that?
He's crispy. Yeah, freaking crispy bastard. Don't make me play the crispy song, Tony. You're making me feel crispy right now. Okay, so anyways, so he brings her clothes and shit and her little hanky, and he loves her, and he heads out, and she knows she's fucked. He's not okay either, and we talked about this earlier. Poor kid. Ellis has been through so fucking much. She takes the weight of it all, and then Tony, she sees Kimono Woman, and it's a jump scare, and then Kimono Woman's gone. What do you think the significance of her actually seeing Kimono Woman? Did she see a projection of her own future right there, seeing Kimono Woman?
We got a super chat. This is anyone else heart stop with Fatima Kimono and Shaq. Thank you for super chat. Timely super chat. Thank you for doing that.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect timing. Super chat.
I listen. It's hard to say now because I thought that she was the kimono lady. I said it from the first time I seen the kimono lady. I said she was the kimono lady.
I go back and forth. I'm flip flopping like a tennis ball.
I said it, so it's hard for me to get off that. But if Elgin is telling the truth about what he's saying about her, that she is pregnant, this is not her baby, then is it the kimonos lady baby that she carrying? Like, is she what do we call a surrogate?
Possibly. Is some people in the live chat are hinting at this? I didn't notice this. Is there anything?
But you know the kimono lady can't carry no baby with her bony ass.
But that's the thing people in the chat were hinting at, and I don't know if it's actually happened. I'd have to watch back. Is the kimono lady the worst Fatima's getting? Is the kimono lady getting healthier? Did she seem healthier in this episode? Did she seem thicker? That people are saying she got a little thicker in this.
BBL. BBLs are killing y'all. BBLs are killing y'all. Luna, let's go through it real quick. Luna says Kimono looks a little more alive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is she getting more power the weaker?
I didn't see that she looked a little more alive.
I'd have to watch back. I'm not sure.
Jay Sleep says when Fatima saw the kimono lady, I jumped. It was a good jump scare. It's hard to pull off a jump scare nowadays. And they did pull that one off very well. Nick Nack Studio says, so Fatima is pregnant. What do you guys think the plan is with the baby? Is the kimono woman going to gobble the baby? It could be the kimono lady's baby.
Yeah, could be.
She might be carrying the kimono. Now, who hit the kimono lady is what I want to know.
Where has Ellis been at night? Where are you sleeping at night, Ellis?
It's Porn Stash's baby.
Oh, we finally got it.
We figured it out. It's fucking Porn Stash. That motherfucker.
That's where Molly has been.
He's the only one we know that is willing to smash a monster. Is Porn Stash.
And we wondered what Molly did with his body parts. She ripped out significant parts of him. So she ripped
that's what it. Porn fucking Stash, the monster smasher.
You have figured it out.
The monster ass waxer. This guy is willing to smash the monster. He must have smashed the kimono lady and then moved on to this other chick, and that's why she had his ass killed.
Tony, another mystery solved by Teflon TV.
Listen, I'm here for that. That's what I do. I figure this shit
You're a
out.
machine. You're a machine solving these things.
I am. I figure this stuff out.
Tony the Machine Morrison. Teflon. Tony the Machine Morrison.
That's what it is. I'm telling you, straight up, it's Porn Stash.
So Elgin looks at himself in the mirror. He's looking at the picture of the IV bag. So he takes the kid, he hooks it up to a vein. He's magically can find a vein, no problem. And he drains some blood into his jar. And as Tony was saying, the mason jar for as we're both speculating, for Fatima to have some Kool-Aid later to mix that with some water and have some red drink. And it's going to be delicious for Fatima. And Elgin's like, fuck, this hurts. So then we get to the advice that I think, Tony, most of the people in existence watching the show, and I'm not going to say everybody, but most of the people in existence watching the show wanted to give Jim. Henry's like, Jim, can I give you some unsolicited advice? You know, when your wife, Tabitha's talking, you might want to think about shutting the fuck up and listening.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. You know, I was with my kid's mom, the longest relationship of my life. I was with her for 19 years.
Great damn advice.
And the number one thing I learned about being in a relationship is shut your mouth, bro.
Yeah, shut your fucking mouth.
Shut the fuck up, because that's what you got to do. Number one, women don't like it when you shut up. Number one, they're arguing with you and you don't say nothing back. That's how you get out of it. Just don't say nothing. Don't throw. No, nothing. Don't give them nothing for the fire. You gotta just keep your mouth shut, and that's just how you get out of that motherfucker. Just being shut. But Jim, as we've seen, and I've said from the beginning of the season, he's a shitty husband. That's why she wanted to leave his ass, because it's all about him, and that's just what it is. And Henry put him. And you can't do nothing to Henry.
No, he can't. And I will be fair.
You can't kick his ass. You can't threaten him. He's too old of a man to do anything like that. And he's been through it. The exact same thing you went through, he's going through. That's not a coincidence to the show. It's not a coincidence, because Miranda and Tabitha are the same motherfucker.
Right.
I've been telling y'all for a long time already, this is what it is.
Either this, and at minimum, Tony, even if they're not the same person, they have the same thing. They're both Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Same fate, but from what I've said, this is some soul shit.
No, they have and I don't know if you watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it's like every generation there's a Slayer that is the same person, has the same souls inside them, goes to the next one to fight the vampires. And I think, each one of them is the Slayer. Each one of them is the next Slayer. So even if they're not reincarnate like the same person, they are so like she's the next Slayer. So they have like this essence that's similar about them. So I think,
as I said in the video I just dropped, it's a quantum leap situation going on, Phil. Who is someone who is familiar with the show Quantum Leap, the original Quantum Leap, not the second one they tried to put out, but the original Quantum Leap of people going, and this is a dream. In dream states, this is what happens to you. You can quantum leap into other people's bodies. In dream states, they're in the dream dimension. As my theory, this is what's going on right now. It's a quantum leap effect going on and on and on. And Tabitha is in there.
Tony, there's only one thing I can say to that. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Tony, I wanna star in a Quantum Leap remake with just you and me. And we're both leapers. And we're leaping from place to place. Or I'll be your Al. I'll be your fucking
You wanna be Al, you wanna be the I can be Al for you.
You could be Al. Like you would get the girls and you got the
Al with fucking everybody.
Actually in this equation, you're right. I'll be like in this situation, you'll be
Al.
You my Al. I just want to honor you as a star but they're both stars. You can be my Dean Stockwell.
You can be my Mockingbird. And I can be your little pal.
We gotta do this. And I can call you Eddie, or you can be
you can call Eddie. And Eddie, you can call me. You can call me out. Call me out. I don't know. The people in the chat don't know that. So
no, it's pretty good though. We were jamming there for a second. Okay. So anyways, Henry gives some advice to him. He says, with your wife, you're like me 40 years ago. That douchebag Jade was right about one thing. You may think you're doing this for yourself, but you're scared. You're fucking scared. And Jim comes to him for a minute. It looks like he's stepping to him, but he sits down. He offers him a drink. Jim for the first time seems kind of human, or first time in a while. He says, I don't drink, but I ditched my wife the day my first kid was born. I waited till Tabitha was passed out. Then I ditched my damn wife. And I went and sat down for a drink because my dad was an alcoholic. And Henry says, my dad was an alcoholic as well. And he sat there and looked at a drink all night and decided not to have a drink and be a better dad and husband than his father. And Henry pours him another drink and tells him you can renew your vows, and says, sit there as long as you want. I need the company. And I think Henry told him some shit he needs to hear. Do you think Jim will be a better person moving forward from this, Tony? Will he learn from this?
I think if that's the case, and he is, then we have to move him up the death chart.
Yeah, if that's a good point. Once characters in television shows like this learn something,
usually you don't make it out.
Yeah, you don't make it pretty far after that. It's true.
If he does flip it, then you have to move him up to getting whacked.
Yeah.
Because that's how it goes. That's how TV shows do it. As soon as you figure it out, they get rid of you right after that. So I would think he would. I don't think it's hard for me to think that the show has the balls enough to kill off a character like Jim.
I mean, they showed last season.
They have not shown that in this yet. From the people they have killed off, they have not shown that they're. I mean, unless you want to say Father Kotri, but I think he's a bigger character than Father Kotri.
No, he is. He is. They set up, for whatever reason, Tony, when this show started, they didn't start this series with Boyd getting there. They started with the Matthews. The Matthews are like co-leads to Boyd in a weird way. Like it's Boyd and the co-leads are Tabitha and friggin' Jim and the Matthews family and Julie and Ethan. Like all of them are the sort of like co-leads with Boyd because we followed them into town. There are Tobias Beecher of Oz. If we're comparing this show to Oz, he's, Boyd is Warden Glenn or McManus, and our friggin' these guys are the Tobias Beecher coming in the first episode. So our next scene is Julie telling Ethan that she back in the situation. I don't know about Julie bringing Ethan to this situation, but whatever. And Julie tells
Ethan, gonna bring. I mean, he's a little wizard. He has a child. We talked about it when he was there with Jade. You have that child enthusiasm and that child outlook.
Yeah.
And in this place, you need it. You need to look beyond the adult boundaries of what normally things would happen and look at it as a child perspective.
No, that's a good point.
I think that's a good reason why she brought him back there.
No, I guess it's a good point. And she thought he'd be safe during the day. So whatever where Julie tells Ethan she hears screams that won't stop. But when she came here, things went quiet. Here in this place, she feels like she has to do something here and go through those rocks. But she's scared. She asks Ethan what she should do. He's surprised. And this was, again, we've been saying this all season, and I'll say it again. I am fucking shitty to kid actors on television shows and recap shows. You can go back, listen to Joe and I kill actors on The Walking Dead and kill actors on Game of Thrones if they're bad kid actors. This kid is doing an amazing job. He played this surprise, like a really subtle emotion, like, you're asking me? Like, I'm a little kid. But then he sort of like transitioned it to be like, okay, what I think you should do is this is a threshold. We're at a threshold here. You need to go through
it was the exact same thing that he did when Victor came there. He said, you drew this? But it's in crayon.
Yeah, totally, dude. Totally.
You're an adult. What are you doing? Drawing in crayon.
Why are you being stupid? Like, it's so good. So fucking good. This kid's a great actor. Great little actor. And he has done an impressive job for me. So me saying that isn't just I'm being nice because he's a kid. I think he's really improved this season, and he's
all right. Real quick, I'm just going through this chat now. I'm not going to highlight this, but this death by Shadow Shinobi. I know I don't mind. I like the guy who runs the channel, Nocturnal Critic, but he has seen all the episodes and has said that he has seen all the episodes. So don't come in here, please. I'm going to ask you nicely, saying anything that he said. I like him as a person. He's my man. He can come on and chill on the channel anytime. But the fact that he's seen all the episodes and he's not hiding it, he's not trying to say he did. Don't come on here putting that in the comment section because we don't want to know that stuff. We want to still be shocked in the end. So please don't do that. I'm just asking you nicely. The next time I have to whack you. But please don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't spoil stuff.
We don't want to put you in the box, but Tony will if he has to.
Yeah, okay. No, there's no leaks online. He's watched every episode. He's said it. He's very honest about it and everything else, as he should be. You know what I mean? But and he's watched every episode from season 1. I remember he's getting them and everything else. But let's not put that in there because some people we want to figure this out on our own if we can, and we want to be things like that. So if you can, please, I appreciate it.
So Tony, this is where things get really interesting, so to speak. So she says, sounds like a story. She told me, what should I do? And he says, go for it. I'll go with you, and holds her hand, and they go through the archway, the golden arches there. So suddenly she snaps and she's in the tower with the rope. She hears screaming and she sees Randall and Mari and herself screaming from last season. Then we flash to the reality and she's on the ground having a seizure and Ethan's freaking out, yelling for help. Then we'll get back to her in a second. We cut back to the basement again with Tabitha, Sarah, Victor, and Jasper. And Tabitha's asking questions. It was the basement. He does not remember which basement. And she reaches a dead end and Sarah steps up and says, to kind of keep the brain going, what was the weather like that day? And then they get into the hide and seek and Eloise being able to hide and they can never find her. And we figure out that it's in the church.
Yeah, so, as Chris B says, some channels are spoiling, acting like they're predicting everything. 100%. I've seen one channel say that I got a feeling that it's going to be Judy who throws the rope down.
Yeah.
Really? How did you have that feeling?
Dude, I saw that stuff too.
How would you have a feeling that it was going to be? There's nothing in there, in this show, and I've watched it from top to bottom, that anyone could have predicted that Julie was the one who threw the rope down. Unless you were just making something up. Unless you just spitballing and you just wanted to pick a name and you wanted to pick. There's nothing. That right there is no way that you can predict that. That is impossible. There's nothing in the show foreshadowing that she threw that rope down. But go ahead, Phil. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. So where the fuck are we? Kenny and Acosta are interviewing people. It's kind of funny. Tony's favorite person, this douchebag, is just like, what about Sarah? I don't think I'm answering your fucking questions. Didn't Sarah kill your fucking husband or killed your dad anyway? So what the fuck? Why are you defending her, Kenny? Like, I'm not answering your stupid questions. And look at my hot girlfriend. Well, she's desperate because she's stuck in this place. She's dating me. Sorry, that was mean. But still, what's that guy doing with her?
Yeah, please. Unless this guy's the human horse.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would be the only reason why she'd be with his ass. He ain't got no money. That's the only thing he can offer.
Maybe he's a tripod. Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, if he's walking around like that, you know what I mean? She's Ron Jeremy in this bitch.
He's obviously not a nice...
only way a woman like that would be interested in.
He's obviously not a nice, smart guy. I mean, we learned about him in this scene. It's not his personality that's going on. He's
no.
He's
got to be like, what's it? Dexter St. John.
Dexter St. John.
That's it. It's whip his shit over his shoulder and whistle.
Come on down to the beach. Come on.
That's the only one.
Aili, man. Okay.
Like in a Lovecraft Country. My name is Tree. Why? Because I got 3 legs.
Oh gosh. So Acosta's interviewing people. It's just funny. The stabby person in the greenhouse. Blah blah blah. Sarah did it. Who's this Sarah? So we go off to Ellis and Boyd mid-fight. This is the second time we come in sort of like a mid-situation, and we come into Ellis and Boyd mid-fight, and they're yelling at each other. Ellis is like, I think Ellis, because I'm not sure what Ellis said to set Boyd off. I'm assuming he said, why don't we just tell people? They'll understand. Yeah. Like, dude, I love you, Ellis. I love you to death, dude. No, sweetheart, no. I don't want to condescend onto you, but no, come on.
You got to tell this Ivanova that she's speaking blasphemy, Phil. She's on your channel.
Do you think Acosta and Kenny could be a thing?
Yes. Say this.
I think that's a thing, but we're not allowed to say that in front of Tony because that's Tony's significant other. Like that's Tony's future wife that you're speaking of. Get Acosta's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, man. And don't make me put Will Smith out here.
But yes, I do agree with that. Yes, I'm fighting back. Yes, I think she is going to seduce Kenny to work with him against Boyd. You think so too, Tony? You know it. You know it to be the truth, Tony. You know it to be the truth, young Shazar. You come on. Your theory crafting outweighs your penis. You know it.
I'm not.
Okay, you know.
I'm not going to believe it till I see it, and if I see it, I'm just going to turn fast forward through it, and that's going to be
it. Jessica O says, "I hope."
By the way, watch your mouth.
Oh my God! Oh my God, Jessica O.
Watch your fingers. I'm going to say, watch your fingers, Carla Way.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing, Carla? Okay, so good for Kenny. So Ellis Boyd, they have a fight. Ellis is like, tell the people. Oh, yeah, we can tell the people, and we can live in the woods with the talismans until they get used to it. And Boyd's like, dude, that's fucking stupid. You won't be safe. He's like, she won't kill me. And he's like, she stabbed someone in the damn chest, Ellis.
Yeah, dude. Like, what else does she have to do? She's not going to hurt me, all right? She may hurt other people, but she'll never do that to me. That's not ever.
Dude, that almost deserves a red. You big dummy. That almost deserves a you big dummy. Oh my goodness, Ellis, you big dummy. So he's like, you stab someone in the chest, she will hurt you, and he's like, she never hurt me. And Boyd's like, dude, idiot. And right at the right time, Donna comes in, as someone says, hands in the pocket, Donna, and Donna heads in. She's like, people are heading to Sarah's house with pitchforks. We got to do something. And I've walked into rooms like this, Tony. I'm sure you have too. Donna walks in and she's like, I smell deception. Like she smelt the deception. She smelt the lie in the room.
Did she smell that? Or was it Tilly?
Did she smell? No, don't do it. Oh, no.
She's last word.
That's exactly what she fucking smelled, Tony. She smelled what the Tilly was cooking. Oh my Oh my goodness. Oh fuck. Okay.
That
So
always makes me laugh. It's really, I tell you about that scene. It's the sniffing beforehand that really gets me.
yeah, no, it's the sniff, and like you can feel the sniffing. You can really feel that energy, Tony. Oh my goodness, I have flashbacks to Fatal Attraction. No. You just give me tragic flashbacks to Fatal Attraction when I see that shit. I think there's gonna be a dead bunny outside my house or something. Okay, so yeah, she's like, what's going on? So we cut right there. We go off to Tony's future wife, Acosta, and Kenny, and Costa's like, fuck Boyd. Who's this Sarah? I'm gonna shoot her. Just put me in her direction. I'm gonna pull out my gun with the bullets I still have, and I'm gonna shoot somebody. I'm gonna shoot Sarah.
Listen, I would have shot Donna. Leave it. I thought that Donna dropping dime Donna. I'm gonna tell everybody if you don't. As soon as she turned her head, I was thinking someone's gonna shoot her in the back of the head or lock Donna up, because that's what she's putting herself on the line. She's lucky she escaped.
Yeah, no,
I mean, was me and there was Acosta and the Don was in there. Donna would have got bagged up right then. Are you gonna tell everybody? Are you really? You really gonna tell everybody? Donna done. Donna going in the cell.
I think Boyd did get a look on his face like he was considering that for a half second when he was like, Donna, you're really gonna sell me out like that? So we get back to, I guess, one of the important parts of this episode. I mean, it's all important, but we get back on Julie and she's freaking out watching herself, and it flashes, and then she sees Martin and she hears Boyd down in the hole, and Boyd and Martin knows. So let's get into this right away. Martin knows her name is Martin Randall. I know I saw that all over Reddit, all over comment sections. People are saying Martin is Randall. Is Martin Randall?
Martin is not Randall. Martin's been there way too long. It's not Randall. That's not who it is.
How does Martin know who Julie is? I'm not. I don't think she. I personally don't think he's Randall either. But how do you think that he knows? What's your first instinct on this first take? I know you'll need more time to unpack and think about it and stuff. But.
I do need more time to unpack exactly. But it's no different that Martin here has access to a lot of things that the main entities have access to. Right, so he could have seen this play out more than over and over again. Again, right. We're dealing with, when you see her go inside of him, I told you the time travel was going to happen. And the way it's happening is through dreams. This is all dreams. I put this in the video. You can see it in the video. I put it, and I made it very clear in the video. You can see that everybody's dream or nightmare, everyone who comes into town, they add a little bit of their dream to build the town, right? Everyone who goes in there. Now, these people, again, they're not dreaming. They're just in a dream realm.
Like a dreamscape, sort of.
Yeah, so don't say, where's their body there, Tony Teflon, if they're dreaming. Listen, you hear what I'm saying to you. They are in a dream realm. Right?
I love your impression of the collective trolls.
That's what those stupid people in the chat. Sorry, when I read that comments and stuff. So they're in the dream realm. Everyone's consciousness, and I put the Inception quote of how the world builds, right? And that's what they say in Inception. Everyone adds their own thing to it. So therefore, if you look at it, you see Sarah's brother. He added the cicadas to it, right? Because that was his nightmare. That's his part of put there. That's how that got put there. Everybody adds their own little pieces in there to build this world. And that's why I believe, in the end, that's why there is no motel. Because the person who put the motel in there never went into the motel or seen it, but they seen the pool and the sign. That's why that's only there in the motel building itself. And if you look at all of the other buildings in there, the houses, they're all from different eras, all in the same spot. So why would that be? That would be because each person who's brought their own memories of a certain house or building, that house is there for them, that they have put that in their subconscious, doing that and putting these things and building this whole world that's around them. And that's why that is all that stuff is inside of there. So when you deal with Julie, she comes in, and again, I can prove it because when you see Boyd and he's inside of the well, right? And he's sleeping inside the well. You see him sleeping. He sees himself ringing the bell, walking down the street. He's listening to a song. He can hear a song is playing, and then it starts to rain. And then it switches to Elgin hearing the same exact song, and it's raining outside. Yep. So Boyd's dream is what's projected that song and that rain into the realm. That was Boyd who put that in, and that's why it was raining at that time and everything else. So It's people's dreams that are being projected into the town, and that's what's building the town and making the town what it is and stuff. So her going through, it just shows that she's able to interact. Even though her physical body was out there having a seizure, her consciousness, her soul, astral plane, was able to leave her body, go into this space and touch physical objects, and as of the rope, and throw it down the well.
And I think part of the reason, at least this is my wrinkle on it, that the reason why I think her or Mari or Randall could all do that, because they were tapped into it. Maybe even Boyd too. They could all do what Julie just did. I don't think Julie is necessarily super special individually on her. At least that's my take on it. I think Randall and Mari could probably do the same thing if they crossed into that, over there.
In Dream Warriors, right? Freddy Krueger.
Each one of them has the different power and all that.
They all had different powers, right? Every one of them, because it was what they felt inside. So Ethan would be the wizard if he was able to harness that power. He'd be like a wizard. So it seems like they all had. So you could be correct that they all can do it, but they all might have something different. Like you would say that Marielle's a healer, so she may have some healing ability.
Yeah, and Randall is sort of the damage guy that can.
Yeah. He could be a situation like that, you know what I mean? So it could all be that. But in order to tap into that power, as they did in Freddy, they had to realize they were in a dream. That was the big thing. They couldn't and when they realized they were dreaming, that's when they were able to harness the power. Still going through the dream, my theory of this dream realm in Freddy Krueger. The same exact thing happened to the chick who died. The guy said he came downstairs, she was asleep, and all of a sudden the chest caved in and her face broke and she felt the phone. We seen this in Freddy Krueger when the chick was asleep. All of a sudden, Freddy was dragging her across the room with his claws, but all the people seen was her body just going into the real world.
TV. Or there was a guy, Philip, in the beginning of that movie that was being controlled like a marionette, and it looked like he committed suicide and just walked off the thing when Freddy was really controlling him as like a puppet through his situation like that. And there's another Freddy thing or Nightmare on Elm Street thing that comes in later when we start talking about the kids that I want to get into a little bit too. So we get back in. Julie washed herself. She's freaking out. Boyd, Martin knows her name. He says, throw the rope. Julie says, how do you know my name? And he goes, that's not important right now. Throw the rope. Julie asks who that is. That's not important now either. He thanks her and he says, you got to leave right now. And she turns her head and she turns around and he's gone. And then she heads into the next room. And then she is, I said this earlier, and this fits into your dreamscape thing, like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. She goes in another room and she's in a different place altogether. She's in the tunnels now, underneath where the monsters live. And she hears Victor and her mom, and she goes, Mom. And then she hears the Anakui kids, Anakui, and she starts getting.
Let me ask you this, Phil. In season 1, and I asked people in the chat too, did Tabitha hear someone say Mom when she was walking out of the tunnels with Victor?
Tony, I was trying to think about this. I think she heard something, but I don't think she heard someone say Mom. I think she heard like a rock kick or some sort of situation? Could it be a Ned Stark situation where it's like he thought he heard Bran, but he didn't really hear Bran or something like that? I feel like she heard something. People in the live chat would probably remember better than I, but I feel like she heard something. But I could be making.
She would have to. They would have to have had that in order for this to make sense. They had to do that, and nobody caught it when she did it.
I don't think she heard Mom, but she heard something.
There's something that I did catch, and I thought it was something else, but I believe this is what it is. She says specifically, where did this water come from? Tabitha says it. And I'm guaranteeing you that that's how they were able to escape through following that water, that Julie is going to have something to do with that water trail, and I'm getting out of it. That they're going to go back, and she's somehow, some way, she's going to leave that water there for them to find out. Because she specifically does say, where is this water coming from?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. People in the live chat seem to back up or answer that question and say, yes, she did hear. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we heard Mom. I don't think we clearly heard what she heard, but there was something she noticed. And I think if people wonder if these writers have plans, I think that's a prime example of something they set up in season 1 that they plan to pay off later on. So let me continue with the recap. Why I think Tony's probably going to fill his drink. Julie, I don't know why I said Julie like that, as I was trying to catch my place in the notes. Julie says, Martin thanks her. So we cut to real life. She's being woken up by Kenny and Costa and Ethan as she hears the Anakui kids yell. I would love to have seen, as always in dream situations like this, it would have been great if we get like 5 more seconds. You know, like she's about to hear the kids again and kind of see the aftershock of all of that. But we cut back and Kenny and Costa and Ethan are waking her up. So Tony kind of already talked about this a little bit. This next scene is Donna talking to Boyd and Ellis and basically saying, you know, you're going to have to bring Fatima back. And he tells her, like, after, you know, I'll bring her back after, you know, give me some time. And Donna not even respectfully goes, yeah, after what? After you fucking resurrect Tilly? You know, that's not going to work, Boyd. You hide this, it will explode. You told them to eat shit with Sarah. And he's like, yeah, they ate shit with Sarah. And she's like, no, they ate it because they believed in you. They don't believe in you anymore. They don't believe in you in that same way. And Boyd's like, no, I'll just tell them to eat shit again. He's like, no, you can't tell them to eat shit anymore. They won't believe you. And they'll rally against you. And Ellis says, I'll take credit of it. God bless his fucking big heart. And Don's like, no, dude, that doesn't change the fact that she would do this. She's going to do it again. And this needs to be fucking faced. And Boyd and Tony, you talked about this a second ago. We'll address this again. She says, if you don't tell everybody, I'm going to tell everybody. And Boyd gets this look on his face like, you're the one that broke my heart, Fredo. You know, like this seriously, like, you know.
Yeah, I thought she was good. I would have had to bag Donna up. She would have had to get there. I would have been like, Elgin! I would be like, Randall was right, grab her. Tie her to a tree outside again.
It's time. Take her down. See, you planned this with Fatima, didn't you, Donna? We know this. So Donna says, I know you guys want to pretend like, you know, this didn't happen, but shit needs to set up here. So we go off to our other big reveal scene of the episode. We go off to the church basement with Victor, Sarah, and Tabitha. We see Jasper and Christopher talking. They don't waste any time. They go right into the flash. Christopher's getting angry. Jasper's not really talking. We see Victor watching. It's not Jasper. It's the boy in the white telling Victor stuff. And I'm going to read this. I might get it wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat and Tony. The answers in the end or in the beginning. It started with the children, what the others did to them. Tabitha asks what others and says the people that loved them, the people that they trusted. The children were born in the dark. They were murdered in the dark. Someone who loved them told a story that gave them hope. And when they laid on the stones, their hope went into the roots and made the symbol. And the symbol became the tree. And Sarah goes, the faraway tree. And my question is that the faraway tree in the road? And is it broke? Is that why they're stuck in there? Like, was the original tree the broken tree and I'm taking credit. If it ends up being this, I never do this. I'll take credit. If the faraway tree in the road ends up being the original tree that's broken and that's why they can't get out of there, that's me. I'm taking credit for that one.
You.
I don't think it's that, but I'll take credit for that one. Anyway, And the boy in white is telling Christopher to save the children, to go through the tree, would not listen. He got angry. Then Victor told his mom, and the boy in white said Christopher would not go, and she left, and she never came back. So I think I pretty much got that. So there's a lot to unpack there, Tony. You do a lot of it in your video. I recommend watching Tony's video, and I'm sure we'll talk about this again.
Go watch the video I just dropped. I break down the whole thing, and I explain the ending of the whole series. And I'm telling you, the series is going to end the way I said it. I guarantee it. It's over for me. I don't really need to even watch it because I'm so confident this is going to be the end of the series. This is how the series ends. I think they gave away too much in this. I know a lot of people wanted stuff, but I think this was just a little bit too much. And
this was a lot. This was a lot. If we really break, and again, we're not going to go fully in this, but let me zip through this a little bit again. The answers are in the end or in the beginning. Yeah. So that's kind of an obvious thing. The answers are at the start. Things started with the children, what they did to them. Tabitha asked what the people that love them. I agree with what you said in the video. The people that love them have to be the fucking parents.
Yeah, the parents and the caretakers are the ones who sacrifice the children.
Yeah, children were born in the dark, murdered in the dark, born in the town, murdered again, whatever. People who loved them told them a story that gave them hope, laid them on the stones, laid in the roots. So they laid in the roots their hope. And this is the thing where, like, did the parents sacrifice and then some entity was created because they killed their kids or something? I don't know what happened there. The faraway tree was created. I'm sure we'll get into this more as time goes on. We'll be talking.
Yeah, I think that the jinn came to these people and granted them a wish. And the wish that they asked for was to live forever. And if you ask me why would I think that, because I Googled it and I said, what are the number one wishes that people ask for? Number one was money.
Money, yeah.
Number two was live forever.
More wishes.
Number three was health. Number four was to change the world. And number five was for more wishes. So when I look at all these things,
why is not number one more wishes, Tom? No,
that's what it was. That's the way.
No, I'm kidding. But wouldn't your first one be more wishes? Like I wish for more wishes.
Of course. So I think with the jinn, they asked him, and they asked, and the wish was for to live forever, because that's the one that makes sense out of all five. And the jinn told him, I think there's a bunch of jinns. I don't think it's just one. Said, you got to kill your children and I'll grant your wish in order for it to work. And I think that they killed their children for this wish. And they are living out their dream. It came true, but not in the form that they wanted. That these monsters here are the ones, or the parents of these children. And what was that? Glue Gun says that what is called a monkey's paw when you wish for something and it's granted in a twisted way, like they live forever but they live as monsters. Exactly.
There's a cool Simpsons Halloween horror episode where Bart finds a monkey's paw and every wish. You were talking about this in the video, and that's very true. And in most situations when dealing with, and I'll call it a genie just because, for whatever reason, it's not. So it is things like you wish for $1 million, and then Tony said this in the video, there's $1 million bucks, like Milwaukee Bucks outside your house. Giannis is outside your house going, yeah, hi, how's it going, buddy? What's up? It's too literal. You want to live forever. You don't want to be youthful forever. You end up being like the knight in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and you're like decrepit old knight.
I never want to get old, and then all of a sudden you're a vampire or something like that, and you never get old. Yeah. But now you got to drink people's blood. I think it's a situation like that going on with them, and I think that in the end, we've seen it as the first line says. It started. What was the first line again, Phil?
It started in the end is the beginning, basically.
The end is the beginning.
Paraphrasing it.
I think that now that we see that if someone has the ability to go back in time, they have to go back and stop the townspeople from sacrificing their children and taking this wish.
So you think we're heading towards a Bill and Ted end? No, I'm saying that not a bet, but like some sort of time travel.
If you do that, then no one ever ends up here. And I think that's what it has to do in the end. That's how it's going to be. That's how the whole series is going to end. They're going to figure out that they have to go back there, stop them from taking this wish. that shuts down the whole thing. That gets them out of this nightmare realm. And I think that even if you go through the characters in the show, you can easily make up wishes of every main character in the show that would get them put in this situation that they were all in there. You know, and you can easily say Jade made a wish, and maybe they'll show it in the flashback at the end of the season. Jade could have said, yeah, I wish that my company, I would sell this fucking company. And you did sell the company and you made millions of dollars, but now you're stuck in this dream world. Boyd wished for a boat. He wanted a boat. I'm sure he wished for a boat, and now, yeah, you got your boat, but now you're stuck in this place. Wow. You can go through anyone. I can go through anyone and really think about it. I could think of a wish that any one of them would have made that got them pushed there. But I really believe it's more the town folk, and that's what happened to them, and that's what it is. They wish to live forever, and you are going to live forever in this dream realm as these monsters are. And that's what they got, and I think that's what it's going to be.
Before we move on from this section, a lot of blood. There is a lot of blood. Are the numbers in the bottle trees the town's way of torturing Jade? We'll get into that stuff a little bit later, Ivana. But someone asked, the kids being the key. I mean, I think the kids are the key in the sense that what they do with the roots and laying on the rocks and created the whole cage that everything is trapped in there because of the paradox that got set up. Essentially, the kids created the lock to kind of keep them, and if they were going to be able to perpetually exist, they would have to be trapped here, like the Indiana Jones knight being stuck in that situation with the Holy Grail. He can live forever, but he's stuck being in that one little location for the Holy Grail. He can't step outside. So maybe all of them, and again, I'm just sort of spitballing here, maybe they're all stuck in the snow globe of this area if they were to perpetually exist. Maybe, I know Tony went on this route a little bit. I might be subconsciously quoting his videos and stuff, but you know, maybe that's what the monsters are, you know, like like created the loop and they're connected to that too, and they're stuck here because some of them are connected as the parents or whatever. So I recommend highly watching the last two videos on Teflon TV. He gets into this a lot more details, and I'm sure if any of you guys have questions when we get into calls in a few seconds, only one or two more scenes, and we'll open up the phone lines. But yeah, I highly recommend watching Tony's last two videos. He breaks this down in far more detail than we are right now. Anyways, so and also Christopher wouldn't go. Christopher got angry, and Victor told his mother to go. Have we ever got a straight thing? I want to bring back the Eloise thing for a second, just because it's sticking to my craw. How did she die? Do we ever, if she is dead, like, I mean,
no, we don't know. She just ran outside, and that's all we know.
So okay.
And he specifically said he found his mother's body by the tree, but he never made any mention of Eloise. At the time, he didn't even remember he had a sister, Eloise. But he said he's found his mother's body there. She ran out. We have no idea what happened to Eloise.
Convenient, Tony. Very convenient. So I don't know. I haven't really smelt a lot of what The Rock was cooking. Sorry, that was cheesy. I haven't really smelt the smoke about the Eloise is alive stuff till this episode. This episode made my my spider sense tingling a lot on that. But every time my spider sense tingle, Jim the bartender ends up dying when I think he's the mole. So don't listen to anything I have to say. One of us is right more than 50% of the time. One of us isn't. So listen to these theories that you will. I purposely don't say theories because I'm usually wrong. Not that I don't have them. I just am not good with them. Where Tony is, I've heard a sportscaster say this, a sports talk radio guy from Boston. He used to always say, and I hold to this too with predictions and all this kind of stuff, Tony, all you're trying to do is be right 51% of the time. You know, like all you want to do is be right a little bit more than you're wrong. Just a little bit more than you're right. That's all you're going for.
That is all you have to do. I mean, listen, the baseball player bats 300, you go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That means 700% of the time you strike out and get out. But as long as you bat 300, you go into the Hall of Fame. Exactly.
You're doing pretty good, Tony. Even if you eat that damn chip and doesn't being aliens, you did pretty damn
good.
I'm
not eating the chip, Phil. I'm gonna be right. All right. Don't speak that into the nexus.
I won't. I'm not saying anything about any chip. I don't know what you're talking about. No chip. No chip talk here. Definitely no chip dog. Definitely. Okay, so anyways, well, where the fuck are we? Oh,
two X. The
we're
chick.
I know.
Why can't
I'm
just be the
adding.
regular
I
two?
added some extra spice to it.
You
There.
had to put the 2X on
I
it.
did. I didn't just get the single X. We're
Jeez.
going double X. Really. Notice how, again, I like to say one of the two of us has put their balls on the line, or put their ass on the line. I should say, not their balls on the line. Put their ass in their on the line, and one of us is just happily sitting on the fence talking shit. So you could be the guess of which one of us is that. Okay, so our final scene, no, not our final scene, but we're almost to the end of our episode here, Tony. We go off to Elgin, who finds the cabin, and Fatima is like, oh no, he finds Fatima and he's like, come with me. Then we go cut to Boyd and Ellis, who's telling him to like go 4 or 5 hours away. Everything's gonna be okay. Set up camp. If she tries to kill you, kill her. And he says, listen, Dad, if Mom didn't try to kill me, would you try to, if she didn't do what she did, would you have tried to take her off somewhere and save her? And he gives him a look like, okay, son, I get it. Whatever. So they get to the cabin and Ellis is freaking out because Fatima's gone and they look around. So we go off to the end of our episode, Elgin and Fatima. Elgin tells her as they get to the little basement area, tells her that Ellis is waiting in there for her and no one knows about this room. He's going to take her to the basement with the bed. She's apprehensive, and she probably should have ran right in that moment, but because she doesn't see Ellis, but she says, no, I'll go back to the shack. And Elgin's like, nope. This is the only place that the baby will come. She says, there is no baby. And he says, there is a baby, but it's not yours. She falls in pain and she's fighting him. She pushes him off, but then she falls in pain and it makes her worse. She tries to climb up, but he literally drags her in and he says, sorry, this is for the best. As he says, she's sorry as he puts her in the room, Tony. And that's the end of our episode. What the fuck does he mean? As I'm going to go fill my drink. What does he mean by this is a baby, but it's not yours?
Yeah, I mean, she's seen the kimono lady first, and then she came. The kimono lady is the one who's trying to get Elgin to bring her there. I mean, the only thing that makes sense that I can see is that somehow this is the kimono lady's baby. And then somehow she's carrying it there. Now, if this is the way that, if it can't be right now that Fatima's turning into a monster. I mean, maybe it is. It seems that they're stressing that she's pregnant and that she's going to be, that's what it's going to be. Now, the father of the baby, we don't know. You know what I mean? We have already speculated that it's porn stash. But that is what it has to be when it comes down to it. The kimono lady seems to be the one who's interested in it more than anything. And we've never seen the kimono lady in anything else but dealing with Elgin and dealing with Fatima. First, she was just dealing with Elgin, and then all of a sudden, Fatima came into the picture. So it has to go all the way back since the first time that he was drowned, that attempted to be drowned by the kimono lady, that this process has had to come into whole. So I would think when we look at it that if it's going to be anyone's baby, it's going to be her baby and stuff. The kimono ladies, who else could we say that it would be? Why would she have such interest in this child if the child had nothing to do with her? I mean, I know a lot of people came out there and said that she was helpful, she was good, that she put Elgin under the water so he didn't hear the music box, that she was out there to help. But once you start getting into that, I can make you go home, I can make everybody go home. Once you come into that, then you got to realize that this person is up to no good. And that's exactly what's going on here. So that's what I would think. Real quick, I want to go into my theory about the jinn controlling this whole situation. Let me explain a couple of things about the jinn real quick. The jinn can summon, control a fire. We see that the town, it uses a torch. It uses a torch in the lighthouse. It's specifically a torch, not a light. We see that Boyd uses fire to get into the plane. Shape-shifting, jinns can shape-shift. We can see all of the crows that are always there, and they say you can shape-shift into animals and stuff that are always around the faraway trees. There's a whole bunch of crows that are there. It says healing. Jinns are associated with healing. We see people inside this town when they get injured, they heal a lot faster than they would a normal person would heal. Possession. They said they could possess people. We have seen people possessed in this place, whether it was Sarah or other people possessed. We've seen that happen, especially with Sarah, because they possessed Sarah and made her draw the picture. Influencing humans. Jinns can influence humans and their actions. We see that going on with Elgin right now. We've seen it going on with Sarah. It said jinns are especially associated with ruins. We see the ruins in this whole thing of going down with time travel in the ruins, and it's a set of ruins that they keep walking down in there. It also says that they can travel freely to the elemental planes, as well as the prime plane, material plane, and the ethereal plane, and the astral plane. And we have seen this go through there with Julie and everything else. So when I tell you that I made this theory up and I thought it through, there's nothing that I'm telling you here that we have not seen in the show. Everything I can explain, everything that we have done and seen in this show through this series, through this. Not one thing I cannot explain through this theory. Other people's theories that they give you, they can explain one thing here, another thing here. I can explain everything through it. So to me, overall, the person behind this, and I think it's a group of people, are jinns. And they're associated with trees. You can go through it and everything else like that. Just watch the video.
And you think these jinns are of alien descent? Just to
yes, of course they're aliens, but they're jinns, aliens. All right, go ahead. The call-in line is open. You can call in right now. We are here for the calls. We'll discuss anything that happened in the episode. If you have anything to ask me about the theory, you can ask me that too. I'm here. If you have a theory of your own, we would like to hear it. Go ahead and put that out there. We are here in the chat and everything else. We are here for you. Thank you all for rocking with us. We have over 450 people here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way in. If you haven't done it, go back out, shut the chat down for 1 second, hit the thumbs up. Let's get into these calls. The number is in the chat right now. It is 781-990-8509. This is your turn. Let us know how you feel.
Right on cue, Tony. Area code 832. Welcome to the show. What's your name and your comment or question?
Hi, my name is Shelly, and I wanted to comment about this episode. I just feel really bad because it's like a train wreck happening. You have a situation where history is repeating itself, and it doesn't seem like people listen or take heed. With Elgin, I don't know how you could listen or take heed specifically to a corpse that's following you around and saying these things. And when he found out what the entity wanted him to do, he should have told someone. I mean, and he looks like a serial killer. He looks like a ghoul or someone assisting someone. Like his whole facial expressions, he's void when he was pulling her like a serial killer down in the basement. You know what I mean? So it's just not going to end well at all. And I just have to say this, that people aren't shit. Like when it comes to boys, if it wasn't for boys, they would still be hiding. They wouldn't have food. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's like in leadership, they know more than everybody else does, right? So like you said, Sarah saved the town. She helped save the town. So I just feel like what the entity is doing is taking everything that held the town together so that they can destroy it. They killed Father, the priest, the preacher. They've killed certain people, and now they're trying to get rid of Boyd because he's gonna have to step down. He can't be sheriff after this. Like, it's gonna come out. So I just feel sorry for everybody, and I just don't know what the team is gonna have. I don't know if she's gonna have a rock that Jade keeps saying. I don't know if it's gonna be
Caller's
what
killing it.
Ellis described, as with the fangs and the fingers, claws. I mean, what is the purpose of this?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. What's the purpose of the baby? We don't know. We have to figure it out. We have 2 episodes left to figure this for it to explain. But it has to be important. It's important to the kimono lady, and they spent the whole season on it. So whatever it's going to be, it's got to be something important.
Well, we know that Jade saw the boulder or whatever. Everything's occurring in that shed or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just bad, and who's dead? Like who's gonna die? So it's gonna be really sad what's gonna happen this season. So we'll see.
we definitely will. Without doubt.
Great call, though. Great call, and thank you so much for your thoughts. And please call back in after the season finale or next week and the week after. We'd love to hear your thoughts after this is all over to see if they tied the room together for you.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
Right,
Take care. Great fucking call. She was killing it. She was killing it.
She's doing her thing. That's what you gotta do when you call. You gotta do your thing. All right, you got to call in. You got to do your thing when you call.
Area code 917. I saw that you called during that call. I skipped your call just because I want to skip that hold sound, the beep, 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 beep. So if I see you call while there's another call and you immediately get sent to voicemail, that's just because I'm skipping the call to avoid the beep, 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 beep sound during the person's call. But 917, I think it was. Please call right back in and we'll get you right
up. New Yorker calling in 917.
It's a 917 call. I think it was 917. Call right back in. So thank you, caller. Always make some good points. Great stuff. Tony, put the old school Teflon music in the background, the one you played with the Game of Thrones videos. This is area code 503. I think this is my area code.
That is actually the Lady in the Don music. It's not mine.
Area code 503. What's your name and your question or comment?
Hey guys, it's No Context from Portland.
Welcome.
What's going on, Portland?
What's up? I actually wanted to ask a question that I've had for a while about Thomas.
Yes.
Wouldn't you guys think that he would be like less than 3 years old at this point if he had survived?
He would be very young.
He's younger than Ethan, right?
Yeah, he's younger than Ethan. He wouldn't be talking on the phone. That way he wouldn't have a voice to talk like that.
Right. So what's up with that guy who sound like a full ass, 30-year-old saying he's Thomas to Jim?
Hey, this is Thomas. Jim.
Yeah, but I think it's the same person on that phone is the same person who was on the radio, and they're just playing and they're playing Jim for a fool.
Okay.
So
I
this
have
is
something
Thomas. Sorry.
interesting to ask about the radio voice, if you don't mind me asking another question.
Go for it.
Go right ahead.
So, something I noticed that I haven't actually heard other people really mention before is the voice on the radio talking to Jim. He sounded almost bored, like a security guard behind a wall of monitors. And he's just like, oh shit, let me get this dude who's has his wife in the basement. You know what I mean? Let me answer this call kind of thing. Did it sound like that to you guys, or am I reading into it?
No, I would definitely say that I saw it sound a little down south. It's like, hey there, Jim.
Slow down.
No. If it's a Truman Show situation, I could easily see it being a Truman Show situation.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have a million other questions, but I'll let everybody else get a chance. Thanks so much for your live streams, guys. I really enjoy, the live streams with you guys and watching the episode and then coming back and being able to see what you guys have to say about it. And, of course, the rest of the family. So, yeah, thank you, guys.
I think Tony and I can both say that it makes it that much more fun for us to watch, to get to watch it with all of you guys and have this big time. We do this not even for anything but just the fun of getting to talk about this with all of you guys and all of our friends here. It is awesome. And Thomas likes you too. Hey everybody, this is Thomas. Hi Jim. I'm your father. I mean, you're my father, Thomas. You're my father.
It sounds like motherfucking Snuffleupagus, son. Dave Chappelle. Hey, Bird, I'm sick. I need some smack, Bird. I need some smack, Bird. I'm sick. Snuffleupagus. Hey, Bird, I'm sick.
This says suspected spam caller, but it's area code 401. Let's try it. Area code 401. What's going on? Are you spam?
No, I'm not spam. It's Julie B.
Oh, hey, Julie. I don't know why it's telling me.
Why is Julie coming up as spam?
Julie, what are you really doing, Julie? Julie, where are you really calling from? I'm not sure. Welcome.
I don't know.
Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you. Hi, Phil. Hi, Tony. So that was a mind-blowing episode. I could not believe they revealed as much as they did. That wasn't even one of the episodes titled Revelations. I can only imagine what's coming in the next two. Wow. If anything, I think that they gave away too much, like you guys were kind of saying earlier. I don't know. I just feel like they made some things a bit too clear. At least, like, if you follow the clues, I feel like, the kids, I think it all goes back to the sacrifice of those kids. And that's what I've been thinking anyway. And it's like, well, it's pointing that way. It sounds like those kids were sacrificed, the Ankui kids. And
I don't think it sounds like it. I think that's what it is. I don't think anyone can draw any conclusion other than that. And people like you, myself, and others who thought that before, this is just confirmation that that's what happened.
Yep. Exactly. The clues were all there. Like after, at the end of season 2, they're all laying on sacrificial looking stone slabs. What else are we supposed to think? That had to be important. I mean, they put that in there for a reason. And clearly they were being sacrificed. I think Jade standing in the center of it all has something to do with it. His reincarnated self, as I think he is. Like that image of him standing in the middle of all those kids on slabs at the end of season 2, I think it's just another clue that he's been reincarnated. And, the first person in whatever line like that led down to him, past lives is the one that was like the ringleader of all of it. That's what I think. I mean, I hate to say that about my favorite character, but that's what it's looking like to me. I really don't even want that to be true, but that's what it's looking like.
Well, if he's going to be soul swapped with anyone, it would have to be Christopher, because that's who he's followed him. That's who's following him around. Jasper's been following him around. The Symbol's been following him around, and we just found out in this episode that Christopher was not willing to listen to the boy in white and go into the tree. So basically, Christopher could have had something to do with Victor. That led you're the indirect person, right? So indirectly, that led to the death of Miranda by him not being willing to go up in that tree, and then her trying to get up in the tree instead because Victor went back and told her and stuff. So it could be that's the guilt that Christopher had, that he could have saved the children if he would have went in the tree, and that's why Jade's in there in the middle of the children.
Maybe that's what made him go mad. Yeah, maybe that's what made him go mad, not something influencing him, knowing that he caused that problem. That kind of made him snap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that at the very least, I would definitely say that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've been thinking for a while that Christopher probably was going to try to sacrifice Victor or Eloise or both. And now I think that even more, to be honest. I think he snapped. I think he just completely lost it.
That's what I'm thinking
white,
too.
like everything here is lying. Like, you're lying. He was losing his mind. We already know he was seeing the symbol. Sounded like he was losing his mind. He was getting scary, Victor said. So I think he was going to try and sacrifice one or both of those kids, thinking that it would get them out. That's what I think.
Maybe
even more now.
Maybe he got the same thing. If you want to go by the Don's theory about the jinn saying that, hey, sacrifice the kids, you could live forever. Maybe they came to him the same way they came to Sarah and said, listen, you kill the boy and this all ends. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this keeps going on because Victor's the kid who got away. And if it wouldn't just be Victor, it would be Eloise too.
That's interesting.
Like they're the kids who got away and they need to go. And until they go, everybody's going to keep doing what they're doing. And I think that most of this world was built by Victor's dreams. I think most of the stuff that we see here in this town was put here by Victor.
Yeah, and you know what you were saying earlier, I think is spot on. I've believed for a while that there are things that are like manifested in this place, like the cicadas, the fear of cicadas, and not just that, but other things. You know, people's thoughts and feelings and actions could possibly manifest into different things in this place. And so you picked up an excellent example. That was so smart what you said earlier tonight about you know, Boyd was having that dream and he was hearing, I think it was a Hard Rain's Gonna Fall playing, and Elgin was on the bus listening to it on his headphones, and rain was falling. We were shown an example of manifestation right there. I've thought for a while it's a nightmare realm, like a pocket dimension, but it's like a dream pocket dimension ruled by, you know, dream states. And you just gave a perfect example of that, Tony.
Well, thank you so much. And you're right, it is. That's what it is. They're in the nightmare realm. This is what's going on here. They're all stuck in there. They all, and that's why you have electricity. Again, I explained it in the video. You know, if you build something in a dream, like if you go through Inception and they build the world, right? They have the people who build the world and stuff, and you build the world through a dream. You would, or you would have to in a dream. If you're dreaming this, if you see a plug that goes inside the outlet, electricity is going to come out of it, but you're not going to dream the actual filler that's inside that should be connected. You're not going to dream that, right? So that's why that stuff is not inside of there, because the person who dreamed that and put those together, they didn't dream the inside of it. They just dreamed the actual plug and everything else, and that was it. And that's why it works in there, because it's just a dream. And they don't have the detail. The full details aren't in the things, and that's why they show it that way.
And the amazing thing about this theory too is it explains everything so well. It explains why the lights work and the cords lead nowhere. It explains why there's running water that's coming from nowhere. It explains why there's livestock popping up in the woods. Like none of it should make any sense, but it's manifested there. They're
dreaming of it. Somebody dreamed of goats. Someone dreamed of animals, and the animals are now there. Somebody dreamed that they were running out of food and everything else and needed food, and all of a sudden there's food over here. They all are manifesting the stuff that is there through their dreams subconsciously. They just don't know they're doing it. I manifested Acosta. That's why she's there. That was me. I put it.
Well, damn! I was trying to manifest that hot EMT to stay, but he had to get killed off in first. Why couldn't he stay?
Fair, very fair.
Yeah, I know, fair, Tony. Why can't I manifest somebody? But anyway.
Well, you did. He just didn't laugh.
Well, I'm excited. I think that they knocked it out of the park with this episode. And by the way, I'm more convinced than ever about. I mean, I was already completely sold that Tabitha's Miranda reincarnated, but could she have been more Victor's mother in this episode?
Oh yeah, she went into like full
obvious.
Yeah, and they made it so obvious in the sense of the way Sarah was watching her. Like, oh my god, like she's like Victor's mother. Like they almost like put us in Sarah's perspective in that moment to be amazed with how she had such control over Victor and understood how to tap into Victor's emotions so easily. At least that's how I was reading that scene.
Matthew Valez says, "What's up, my heart?" at Julie B Deep Dives.
He wants to be your paramedic.
Oh. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll take volunteers.
You can send your emails to juliebdeepdives@gmail.com.
Sure. That would be great. Hey, thank you. Yeah, somebody's got to fill those shoes. Damn, gone too soon, poor guy.
KP, we'll get you on in a second.
Anyway, I won't hold you up. You probably have a lot of calls, but yeah, thank you so much for taking my call. So great to talk to you guys, as always.
No
We
doubt.
love,
You're
we
going
love,
on
we love
after
you,
us
Julie.
tonight?
What, Tony?
You're going on after us tonight?
Not on my channel. I'm going on later on somebody else's channel as a guest. So I'll do my own live on Wednesday night after you.
All right. Well, have fun over there.
Yeah, yeah. So, thanks for asking. I really appreciate all your support for my channel so much, Tony. It means the world, really.
Do what I can do. That's what the Don does.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So thank you. And you guys have a great night.
You too, Julie. Have a good one. And we've had a lot of callers. Everyone call back in.
Keep calling. We're gonna rapid fire them soon. We're gonna rapid fire through.
I assume we'll be on for another like 40 minutes or so. So we have time.
I gotta watch the Penguin finale.
This is area code 917. Area code 917. Turn down your radio, 917. Call back in and turn down your radio. KP, make it quick, KP, or I'm going Jeopardy.
Good evening to everybody.
Welcome, KP.
Let me just say, they did it. They did it, and we should, give them a round of applause because they did it. They pulled it back from the brink of extinction. I got enough answers that I'm like invested in the future still. I'm extra excited for the next couple episodes. And the world has opened up for me. But I'll ask Tony and I'll ask Phil.
Yes, sir.
What was the answer that whether it's the answer or the clue or whatever, what was that one thing that, whether it's a scene, a quote, a word, an action, what was that one thing that you got in this episode that made you feel it like, all right, yeah, I'm sticking with it? Or like, you know what? Yes, they're going somewhere and I'm on board. So perhaps you guys could answer that question, but it was good. Last week wasn't great, but this one was really good. 8 out of 10, and I'm ready for more.
Perfect, KP. Thank you so much, buddy.
I would say that they gave the ending away. In my opinion, I wish they didn't do that, but it seems to me they did give away the ending. But I would say that the Julie rope thing, they tied everything together in a very neatly put bow.
Yeah.
But I think they just gave away a little bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, I think we did a good job with the Julie thing was cool because I think it's just a writer's slash. But I'm going to pause on my reaction to KP's and take these 2 voicemails that we have. This is area code 917 who was trying to call for a little while.
Well, hello. This is Chucka Poo. I ain't pulling nothing but a 53 and chasing nothing but these broken lines on the middle of the highway. Anyhow, I got a quick question. I wanna know, do y'all think that baby Fatima is gonna have is probably gonna be the sacrifice like the other kids were, and that's why she's down there because she might kill the baby so people can go home?
So do you think this baby is just going to be another sacrifice like the Anakui kids?
No, it's too important for that. It did not. It has to be. They devoted a whole season for it, so it has to be something else besides that. Nigel says, "What's up, Tony and Phil? I'm cool with Fatima stuff, but what does it have to do with the overall story for the monsters?" Again, I believe that I don't know how pregnancy has to do with it, but if you look at what we're seeing here, we're seeing that Jade first seen the symbol when he was down in the root cellar. We've seen Elgin drag her down to the root cellar. We know that the symbol was made by the children who were sacrificed, and then that symbol went into the roots and made the faraway tree. So therefore, and then Elgin says, so this is where it happens.
Yep.
So something in there must be some type of where the sacrifices took place of the children, or where the monsters were born took place.
Right, the apex point of some sort.
Yeah,
Tony, I have a real treat for us, and people keep calling back in, but we're going to take the next 50 seconds, and Tony and I are going to relax here with the voice of 916.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, this is the voice at 916. Man, Julie B dropped some wisdom. It's hard to follow her. Basically, I just called to ponder a question. I'm wondering why Julie didn't go to Elgin to go with her to the threshold rather than taking her little brother. I mean, come on. And, she had already told Elgin everything about the kimono lady. So I'm just curious as what your thoughts might be if she had gone to Elgin and they had
I'm sorry.
explore that.
Is she live?
No.
Anyway, thank you for taking this voicemail and stay sexy.
618, call right back. But that's a good question by voice of 916.
I don't know if she would trust. I think the way she went about it, she went about trying to get somebody who experienced what she experienced. And that's why she went to Randall. Randall shot her down. And then she just went home. Her dad ran out the house. She was stuck there with her brother. And she said, "You want to go on an adventure?"
Yeah, no, totally. And I think I
don't think she thought more of it than that. You know what I mean?
I put that a little bit more on Jim too. 618, please call right back, or I can call you 618, but call right back.
We should do the Escaping From podcast in your house. We should make a contest, Phil.
Should we call? Where we call people?
We'll physically go and do the show.
Oh, dude, that would be hilarious. I'd love to do this podcast with you, Tony, live and in person. And I do have to say, thank you to everyone that's been listening to the audio cast. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but we get like 600 to 1,000 listens to our podcast every week. So we thank you guys so much, and thank you for putting those reviews and all that stuff. It helps the podcast get to more people. Finally, 618. I feel bad because I've hung up on you several times. 618. What's your name? What's your question? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, brother? It's all good. Yeah, no, I go by Turd Ferguson on here.
Turd Ferguson. Great name, my friend.
No, my theory, congratulations, Teflon, on the whole Jin and alien thing. That's cool as shit. But I honestly think that it is either Ethan or Julie telling a story as a Stephen King-esque writer. Because if you go back and look at it,
like an adaptation kind of thing, where the story is becoming reality a little bit.
No, not even so much where the story is becoming reality. Like they're writing the story in their mind, like the Chromonocle, right at the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, and the writers even said at the beginning, the very first episode gives you all the answers. We pretty much go into the family with Julie telling a story to Ethan about monsters and so on and so forth. And then if you listen to her dialogue about the crows, they watch you when they see you. They come at you at night and devour you, more or less. I'm paraphrasing. But I think what happened was maybe somewhere along the lines of they're adapting a story, or the author is adapting a story they wrote for children for a more adult audience, kind of like Stephen King did.
All right, so you think that this whole thing is really, in the end, so basically in the end, you'll just see one of them writing the story as an adult or selling copies of the book.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Because if you go back and look at it, and the writers even said the answers were given to us in the first episode.
Yep.
And if you look at everything that was going on in the story of the Chromonocle and Julie's story about Norman and the Lake of Tears and the monsters devouring Norman and so on and so forth, and then her thing about the crows always watching, it fits perfectly with every single thing that's going on.
I feel you on that. I think that it meant me personally, and I think that you could be right, of course. I think that, I mean, and it would Yeah, especially if she wrote it, they're writing as a God's eye view, then they'd be able to see everything that we're seeing, right? And everything else. I think that story, what it says in that story is that Ethan's character, Norman, gets killed by monsters, and he believes that the fairies, who are, to me, the jinn, are going to save him. But I think it's the opposite, that in his story that they're looked at as good things, but in reality they are bad. And I think that's what they meant by the story. And they say specifically the claws cut too deep, they're not going to be able to save him because they died and everything else. And then he talks about bring, and then he says, okay, we're not going to be able to bring them back to life. And I think that we will be able to bring people back to life because now we have seen this time travel effect. So if you can go back and butterfly effect things before that happened, then it would bring the people back to life.
Well, that's why I was saying I think it's one of the adult children, either Ethan or Julie, like writing the story. I think either Jim or Tabitha might have either, the way that I see it, maybe Tabitha killed not on purpose, but like, the postpartum depression, or Jim snapped when he found that Tabitha was cheating on somebody and killed both the baby and the mother. And the story that Julie originally told to Ethan was something to kind of help him along. And as it evolved further and further, like, she ended up interviewing multiple people who have had tragedies in their lives or whatever, and it just became a sci-fi story.
All right. Yeah, no, that goes off a little bit on the rail to me. You say that Jim killed the mom and the son. He lost his mind. The Jim killed them both.
And they lied to the kids about the real story. Like there's some sort of hinky murder and hinky weird
that
stuff.
That would be crazy if they did that. I would not be against it though.
Yeah, they did it right.
I wouldn't be against. They did that in the end. I wouldn't be mad at them for doing it. I think that would be a great twist.
I mean, it does seem like when Jim, if we're going down this road with you, I'm not saying I agree with you, caller, but going down the road with you, sorry, I should call you by your official name, Turd Ferguson. Listen, Turd Ferguson, if going down this road, I'm not saying I agree with you, but to take a step down there, it does seem like Jim and Tabitha have more to do with the Thomas story than we've heard exactly. Even when Tabitha's reaction tonight when the name came up was very angry. It wasn't emotional, wasn't asking a question. It was like, what? Fucking Thomas called?
Well, you also have to look at it from this point of view as well. The fact that through Ethan's eyes as a young kid, he's just kind of sitting there kind of innocent and not knowing exactly what's going on. And if Julie's the one that's writing it, she's portraying Jim as pretty much an asshole.
Yeah. Turd, that's the word. Sorry.
I can see it.
It makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
It does not make sense.
The writer told us that, all the answers were given to us in the first episode.
Tony?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
Nah, I'm good. I mean, yes. All the answers were. They did say that you could find the answers in the first couple of episodes, but the first episode directly. I see it my way. You see it your way. I think and I think in the end we're gonna find out what it is. But
that's great.
If it did end your way, I would not be mad about that whatsoever.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you for the call, my friend. Have a good one.
You guys have a good night.
All right, T.
That was a good call by Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, listen,
I love Norm Macdonald as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it would be a good, and I could see them how they would how in the end this would be a book, as someone said that would be like the never-ending story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with a word he said, but it was a good call.
It's a good. I don't think it's going down that way, but I think it. I could see.
I don't agree with a word he said, but I love the call. It was a fun call.
Yeah, I could see it, but I don't think it will go down that way myself. And everything.
So we're on borrowed time. We're on borrowed time here, everybody. Tony wants to get to watch the Penguin finale. So if you get your last minute calls or everyone calling in, I'll probably be on for a
Why
little.
are you putting it on me, man?
You already said it. You already said it.
You didn't have to distract. We're on borrowed time. Tony said, you can keep streaming, Phil. I
can't. Once it shuts off, I have to restart. I don't want to do it without you, Tony. It's not fun without you.
I appreciate it.
But I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. Like,
I gotta watch that Penguin shit, man.
What's cool about that, and like, I don't know if it's one of those weird things that people don't always think about.
We are staying on until Glue Guns N' Roses calls in.
Fair. Good point.
All right. No, until no longer how long it takes, we're going to hear from Glue Guns N' Roses.
But Tony, isn't it good sometimes? Like we talk about a lot of shows here, but isn't it awesome when you watch a show for yourself sometimes? Like when you're watching the Penguin, you're like, I'm not doing reviews. I'm just watching this fucking show for myself. It's fucking awesome, you know?
I love the Penguin. Now the Penguin's on Max. I could watch it anytime, but I just want to watch it tonight.
I hear you. You don't want to deal with maybe.
No, that's the Casanova pugilist.
Area code 330. Welcome to the show. What's your name? What's your question or comment?
What's going on, guys? It's Gold Soul in the chat.
Oh, hey, buddy. What's going on?
Going on, Gold Soul.
Oh, not much, man. Two things. First is a statement. I wanted to talk about how Tony was saying that, one, the people don't give Sarah enough credit in the town, and I totally agree. Because, yeah, they would all be dead without her, but they never told everybody that, and they should have.
They never did.
Besides that, when Elgin had that scene with Randall, do you guys think that maybe he got kind of reassurance when Randall told him that, hey, we should have listened to you and all that kind of stuff on the bus, and that kind of helped push Elgin's mind to the point where he's like, really thinking he's doing the right thing?
I think he was already on the track. I don't think that was the break, the be all end all. I think he was already going to do what he was. I think he's all in already. Elgin. I mean, I can understand why you would think like that, and and everything. And if they did say somehow that was the case, I wouldn't hate it. But I think by that point, he was already full blown.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that he was already on the track. I just kind of felt like when they had that exchange, it was something that kind of told the audience that, like, Elgin really thinks that he's doing the right thing, and maybe, I think he believes that, he's doing the right thing. Everything that's happening to him is, happening for this reason, to help everybody. But no, I definitely can understand that he's, pretty much jumped in the deep end already.
Yeah, I don't think Elgin's doing it in mean spirit at all. I think Elgin really believes this is going to save everybody.
Yeah, he thinks he's helping.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you guys taking my call. Keep doing your thing.
All right.
Great call, as always.
100%.
And yes, people that are saying
to troll the monsters or entity back. How would I troll the monsters and entity back?
Ooh.
I told you how I do it. I bring in P. Diddy and let him go out there at night.
T. Diddy would come back.
No, T. Diddy is retired.
That never happened. Yeah, that never happened.
He's retired, T. Diddy. He's retired. He doesn't come out anymore.
I would probably talk shit through the windows as well. And people that are live chat, The Penguin is probably one of the best shows on television right now.
Someone said they hated it. I don't understand how you could hate that.
Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, no, you put P. Diddy down there and you see those monsters run. Put them in the cave.
We got area code 812. Welcome to the show. What's your name and what's your question or comment?
Y'all, hey, it's Megan. Oh, Blue Guns N' Roses. How y'all?
Oh, see.
What's going on?
We call and we shall receive. Welcome to the show.
Okay. So, first of all, really, really quick, I want to.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that.
I was playing your theme song.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I caught it after it burnt my ear out with sound.
Okay, y'all, I don't think Tabitha is, or not Tabitha, I don't think Fatima is going to give birth to a baby. I think that spiders or worms or crows or something's going to come out of her mouth because her belly's not big enough. And I hope we don't get a birth scene anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
I hear what you're saying. You think a crow is going to come out of her mouth?
Or worms or spiders.
We've seen worms in the ballerina mouth, so that would make sense.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's wishful hoping. I don't want to see anything come out of her vajayjay, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you about that. But she said that her belly's getting bigger. Right.
Barely. That's why I think it's got to be something small. And whatever she does or give birth to or spits out, I just think it's going to bring the kimono lady back to life. Like some people have said, and y'all mentioned it earlier, how it looks like she's coming back to life. I don't know if I see it. I don't know if it's just like them kind of changing up the lady's look from last season, but maybe that's where they're going with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I don't see. She looks exactly the same to me. I unless I didn't pick up on it, but she looks exactly the same. But I could see them swapping, like say a body swap, like the skeleton key, right? If they did something like that, where now that they swapped and now the kimono lady was in Fatima and Fatima was in the kimono lady and then she dies or something like that.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I still kind of do go back and forth. Maybe that's Fatima in the future because with the time travel, I don't, like what is that movie on, or not that movie, the show on Netflix, Haunting on Hill House, or
and Haunted on Hill House, and
okay, you know how it's like time travel in that, but not really. It's kind of like two timelines overlapping. That's kind of what it seems like is happening with Julie. Like I don't know if she can literally like time travel, like quantum leap, like y'all were talking about earlier. Or like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, she went back and she dropped the rope, and that was back before she did it.
But in the Hill House thing, like the timelines overlap and they still affected each other in a sense. Do you know? Or maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know.
I had never seen that show.
Like traditional time travel.
There's always two. It's just two things that time travel that they go on. Like right. You have the Back to the Future time travel, then you have when you switch something in time, an alternate universe spurts off that. So there's always those two type of things in time travel, right? So either you do something and that automatically creates an alternate universe, or you have the Back to the Future version of time travel. And I think that this time travel is more Back to the Future. It's an actual different timeline going against it. And I think it's happening in the dream world. So I think as Jade said before about the dimensions that are lapping over top of each other and stuff instead of a wormhole, and that people get that confused. I think that's what's going on here when she goes back in there.
So she's probably Ellis is going to be her future dad if we're going Back to the Future, maybe.
The Ellis is going to be what?
Her father, just like Back to the Future. Instead of it being her mother, Ellis could be her father. And then she got pregnant by her father, and that's why she's giving birth to worms or crows out of her mouth.
Well, if you, yes, I guess so. It could end into something like that.
Her mouth again. We don't want worms and crows to come out of anywhere else. That's why.
No, I don't want anything coming out of her badge. No, not at all.
No, I mean, I'm with you on that one. I don't think anybody chats with you on that one. No one wants anything worms and crows coming out of Fatima's.
Nah, if they show something like that, I'm gone. That's the end of the show. I have only so much.
I don't know. They do some weird shit sometimes. Okay, last thing I want to say is what I want to hear what y'all think.
Yes.
Because think about this. Next episode or the episode after that, people are going to find out that Fatima killed Tilly. Right? Okay. Somewhere they got to figure out that she's actually been kidnapped by creepy Elgin, right? So who's the town gonna be more mad at? Elgin for trying to, I don't know what, to Fatima, hold her against her will, drag her down the steps, probably tie her to a bed What's that going to look like when the town finds them? Are they going to be mad at Elgin? Is Elgin going to lie and say, I found the killer, y'all. Go ahead. Start praising me. I found her. I caught her. Let's put her in the box. Or is she going to be like, Elgin captured me. He's trying to kill me. What's going to happen there? Elgin's got to die, or Elgin's got to lie again? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know how that would play out. I mean, he's got her there. Is he staying there with her? Is he going back? Are they going to tell people that Fatima's missing? Why would they do that?
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that can lie.
If she's wanted, I can't see them going to the town and saying she's missing. I guess it would be in their best interest for her being gone. You know what I mean? So,
well, see, I thought we left off because Donna said, boys, if you don't tell the town that what Fatima did, I will. So I guess I assumed, which is probably my bad for this show, but I assumed next episode it's going to come out, okay, Fatima's the killer. And then it's going to be on the race to find Fatima. Boyd and Ellis are probably going to find out she's missing, or both of them, one of them. Like, do you see where I'm going with this? Like, I'm sure the town's going to find out because Donna already announced. And Donna follows through with what she says. I'm going to tell the town if you don't. What Fatima did,
and
right?
they both already know she's missing. They came to the cabin and she's gone, so they're going to be on the hunt for her already.
They may front and fake her death and say she's dead and skedaddle her somewhere else. I think it's something's got to happen in that room, and until that happens in that room, we won't know nothing. And it all depends. If Elgin is staying in there with her the whole time, then he's good.
That's a good question. Does Elgin go back to town and be like business as usual? Does he stay in there monitoring her the whole time? I don't think Elgin's good at lying. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy.
Why? He lied to her. He's like, come on, Fatima. Ellis is down here waiting for you. Come on down here.
Yeah, but would you have gone with him, Clues, Guns N' Roses? And I wouldn't have. That was bullshit. That was like Tony was yelling at the person in New Orleans that tried to kidnap me. Like, I wasn't going down there with that person. Like, once you get the spider sense, Fatima should have ran in the other direction and got run away. You know, that was sketchy.
It doesn't end well. Okay, so then Elgin goes back to town.
He's a bad liar.
To lie. His palms get sweaty. Acosta or whatever her name is sniffs him out. She's like, I know you're lying. And then something's gonna happen. Elgin doesn't end well, no matter how this goes. Is what I'm thinking.
I agree. I am with you on that one.
I agree too. If he goes back, he's not gonna. Acosta's gonna put the beats to him.
Yeah,
he's gonna
he won't hold up under pressure.
He won't hold up. He won't hold up.
Nope.
Okay, well, I just wanted to hear. I thought maybe y'all had some crazier alien theories, how maybe Elgin got out of it. I didn't know, and or maybe some other theory with quantum leap, where he quantum leaps into somebody else's body and he's no longer responsible. I didn't know where y'all were going to go.
Don't badmouth the quantum leap theory.
Yeah, don't badmouth the aliens and the quantum leap until it.
Well, you're trying to throw the shade and then hang up. She was going to just throw all that.
No, I didn't. Look, I told you, I support you. When that hill crumbles, I'll hand you my hand. I will pull you back up. I will be on your side. I will not be cheering for you to eat a hot chip. I'll just say, look, he's human. Everybody's wrong. Ask Jim. Jim was wrong about the radio. You know what I'm saying? I'm on your team.
I appreciate it.
Oh, I love you, Clues, Guns N' Roses. You're awesome.
100%.
Okay. All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. But Phil, I will be here to be in the chat, and I'll let them all. When it happens, I will let them all know.
I fucking told you.
Fucking told you. Oh, here we go. 815 Tony. Area code 815. What's your name and what's your question or comment? Welcome to the circus.
Hi, it's Fatima.
Oh.
I'm Phil.
Hey, Fatima.
What's going on, Fatima?
Okay. So my question is that, well, I don't have a question, but I just think it's kind of crazy how Donna is just acting like everybody's supposed to be so upset with Fatima for killing Tilly, but it's really only been a short amount of time where the whole town couldn't go to sleep because they would die in their sleep, and all this crazy things that's been going on in this town, and for everybody to feel like that they could just get back to some sense of normalcy, that it couldn't be explained that there's something taking over Fatima, I mean, I don't know why they're just not explaining it, in my opinion, instead of trying to hide her in the woods. And I'm just saying with Boyd too, like so much crap has happened in the last couple of weeks with the entity, with Sarah, with the girl getting tore up in her sleep. Nobody can go to sleep. And now we have Fatima. Like, I just think everybody needs to be aware that there's other threats than us putting up a talisman at night and relaxing. That's not going to work anymore. We need to come up with some kind of different plan here for a whole town. Like, I think they're still trying to operate as prior, and they can't do that anymore.
Now, interesting question. And Tony, what do you think? Like, was Ellis right? Should the right play have been taking it to the town and being like, Fatima was taken over by some entity, blah, blah, blah. Like, we got to figure this out. It wasn't really her. Would the town be rational about something like that?
I think that they got, people got a lot of love for Fatima in that place. You know what I mean? But I don't know where that goes once you commit murder. Because when she killed Tilly, I guess that she killed Tilly,
and I'm not saying that they would have accepted it, like, but locking her away, you know, until they can figure it out, like, yeah. I mean, what the hell the town gonna do? Like, attack her and put her the gunfire? What? Like, the firing squad? I mean, they have more control in the town than these people, but I don't think that they would have just been like, okay, put her in a box. I don't know. Just my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know if they would have done that. But if Donna, let's put it like this, we would have to say Donna has more love for her than anybody else in this show besides Ellis, right? And Donna's throwing her under the bus already. Donna was like, you can't sleep here. You're going to have to find a new place to go. And if Donna,
you can be crazy,
anybody that we've seen, did the whole celebration, oh, we're so happy, it's been your anniversary, all this shit, and Donna's saying that shit, why wouldn't we think the other people would feel the same way?
I agree. I mean, I feel like Donna did fold really quick, especially, like, she didn't even have a solution. Her only solution was just to tell everybody. Like, she act like she didn't give it. She's like, yeah, she's like mine. But, you know, no, because you're not even trying to help. Like, you just like, we're going to out her to the town. Not even like a, hey, this is what we're going to say. This is how we can handle it. She's just like, I'm going to go tell everyone. So now Donna, she just lost all the cool points for me. But
she
yeah,
like Donna, like that dude from Belly eating a banana. We gonna drop a dime on these motherfuckers. We gonna drop a dime. That's who Donna is. She ready to drop that dime.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have to say. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, for Fatima.
Great
I
call.
appreciate you in the chat and everything you do, and thanks for calling in.
All right. Bye, guys.
Awesome freaking call.
100%. All right, let me get up out of here. I gotta watch the show. I gotta work in the goddamn morning. All right, people. We did 3 hours. We're not Julie. All right.
We're not doing 8. Not tonight. Tony, I did a quick poll on my channel about was this the best episode of the season, and no, 54% said no, 45% said yes.
I'll be back Wednesday with another live stream. So we'll be back Wednesday, and we might start for the last 2 episodes. Maybe we'll do the pre-stream or something like that for the last 2 episodes.
And theoretically, I got to talk to Tony. Tony and I might be live on my channel on Friday night talking about this ridiculous circus show fucking situation happening that I'm going to be watching.
What show is this?
Might as well. I assume you're going to be watching the boxing circus.
Oh yes, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Maybe we'll do. Yeah, we should live stream that live.
We should dual live stream that thing that night or something like that. Just watch it.
All right, yeah, let's do something. What up to Diane Lavada Blackwater?
I think it's Friday. I think it's Friday night. So
is it Friday or Saturday night?
I think it's Friday.
Right, yeah, we'll live stream the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. We'll do that. We'll definitely do that.
Why not? Why not?
We'll do that. All right. If you like the way you do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace.